Give me a second.
Okay. Is a button next to the microphone button.
Yes.
Just share content, and then you just select the share window.
Your windows.
Share screen, share screen, share screen, and then you just bring up your PowerPoint. Are you computer or using? Okay.
It's a computer. Like this.
I only see your face right now, not the slide.
No, I see my face too. This one. Why? I picked the window. Wait.
Okay. So now you check. You click the slide that you want to share.
Am I seeing my face? Sorry. Using. Okay. You can see my face, right?
Yes, yes.
Why is this so hard? โอ้ยไม่ใช่ sorry อาจารย์หนูขอโทษค่ะหนูไม่เคยทำในทีมเลย
That's okay. That's okay. Take time because it's today first time. No, don't worry.
This is so hard. Okay, I think you see everything on my screen, right? Can you see my screen?
Yes, but I only see my face and your face. So, do you open up the PowerPoint?
I did, but it doesn't come out. Wait. Second. I tried to open my slide, but it doesn't come out on the screen. I don't know why. Okay.
Can you maybe you can unshare your screen one more time, open up your slide, and then click share one more time.
Oh, okay. I tried that. This is my slide.
But I still see what is it? Recording. Can you unshare your slide? Unshare your screen just a bit.
Yes, I try.
Click on the X.
I thought I did it. Am I still sharing my screen?
I think so because I see your face. Oh no. Okay.
I just turn on camera, right?
Okay. Can you share your screen? Can you open up PowerPoint and then click share the screen on the share content button? Okay.
This one. Can you see it now?
Yes. Thank you.
Oh, I'm so glad. Okay. Yeah, so you can see my screen, right? You can see me and my presentation, right?
Yes.
Okay. Do you still see it? I don't know if you can see it.
Yes, but we see the last page, which is thank you. Can you go back to the beginning?
Yes, sure. Sorry. Okay, this is the first page.
Okay, so yeah, we have the first presentation, and then after your presentation, please lead the discussion after this, and then I would ask for all the audience, right? Please listen and then give comments and then ask questions to your friends at the end of her presentation. Okay, hopefully, because otherwise you're gonna listen to me like 3 hours. It's not gonna be fun. So let's try to talk. Okay, thank you. Good night. You can start now, huh?
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Before I'm going to start my presentation today, I want you to put on thumbs up if anybody here owns a smartwatch or your family member has it. It could be any brands and any kind of them. I'm not sure if I can see thumbs up. So, okay, I saw a few of you. Thank you so much. So I assume that you are familiar with the use or the function of the smartwatch. But for anyone that never used them before, you might think that a smartwatch is only a smarter version of digital watch, or a smartwatch is digital watch with a few more features. But today, I'm going to talk about more effects of smartwatch and how it can affect our life. Okay, this presentation will last about 6 minutes, and if you have any question, you could ask after the presentation. Yes, at the end of the presentation. Okay, I'm gonna try to change this slide. Did it change?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Let's begin by basic facts of smartwatch. Smartwatch can be defined as a mini computer on wrist and a device that provides other features besides timekeeping. Even though it seems like this is a highly developed technology, but since most smartwatches apply on compatible smartwatch to provide data over Bluetooth, most other smartwatch can only be an accessory for more than a standalone device. Next, I'm going to talk about function of smartwatch. First of all, monitoring your heart rate at all times, tracking your activity, providing reminders. These are all functions that are widely known, but there's still more of it. Beyond display notification from your phone, a smartwatch is only as good as its app it supports. App ecosystem vary and are tied to either Apple or Google environment. Most smartwatches include GPS or track your location and receive location-specific alerts. Modern smartwatches running either the watch or wearable system support voice dictation. Lastly, if you like to exercise, many smartwatches can help you track your workouts. And all of these actions can be performed by tapping or touching the screen. And also, there's still many more functions that I didn't mention, depends on each product. Next, let's look into the smartwatch market. And these are also the products that are most recommended in 2021. This is Apple Watch. It comes with a simple and unique design that everyone could recognize them, and it's also customizable. The next smartwatch is from Samsung. Samsung Galaxy, which is only known for its excellent workout companion, also comes with a lot of options for customer too, as you can see on the design. The last smartwatch that I highly recommended in 2021 is Huawei Watch from Huawei. It comes with an elegant style and fashionable. It is the first to use Huawei's own Harmony OS 2. Okay, a 3-4-year-old Monica police was brought to the hospital despite being knocked unconscious after a collision with a van, thanks to the fall detection features on his Apple Watch. So, this is a news about how a man was saved by just his smartwatch. Apple Watch have this feature which, if Apple Watch SE or Apple Watch Series 4 or later takes a hard fall while you're wearing your watch, taps you on a wrist, sound an alarm, and display an alert. You can choose to contact emergency services or dismiss the alert by pressing the digital crown, tapping close in the upper left corner, or tapping I'm okay, as a student. If your Apple Watch detects that you're moving, it waits for you to respond to alert and won't automatically call emergency services. If your watch detects that you've been immobile for about a minute, it will make a call automatically. After the call ends, your watch sends a message to your emergency contact with your location, letting them know that your watch took a hard fall and violated emergency services. So what happened is that Apple Watch detected a hard fall around 8:20 p.m. and alerted his emergency contact, which is his wife. After failing to respond to the hard fall alert, his Apple Watch called for an ambulance, which likely saved his life. Lastly, I'm going to tell you how this device will affect our society in long term. First thing, it will affect the first thing it will affect is the human health. With the smartwatch features, people will be able to take care of themselves on their own health in a better way by understanding the body through smartwatch and following instruction from them. For sustainability, no more electric batteries will be raised by the smartwatch only need electricity to charge them and longer usage. And with the special features that some smartwatches have, it helps to get to the patients shorter time and they can be cured faster, so more lives could be saved. And with the technology, people can ease their lifestyle while using smartwatch and better management, like the alarm or reminder, so better and easier stuff. Thank you so much. This is the end of my presentation, and if you have any questions, you can. I'm open for them now.
I really like your presentation, but I got a question for you. After all the benefit that you told us, do you think smartwatch will be required in life as smartphone in the future?
So in my opinion, I don't think smartwatch will be a requirement as a smartphone because even though they have like so many functions that could ease our life, we could still live without it. Like we don't really need them if we can live without them. But from the research that I read, from the past year, the demand of the smartwatch is like skyrocketed. So I think in the future, more people will be like wearing them and it'll be like more common in our world. Does this answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you too.
So there are several watch in your presentation. Which one is like the best smartwatch in your opinion?
Okay, thank you for your question. I think it depends on what purpose do you want them for. There are like many various of like type of smartwatch you can choose from the market. So I suggest you like look into what you want by like getting into each website and read them because like they're really easy to find it on the internet. But personally, I am really used to like Apple stuff, Apple, iOS, whatever. So I will go for Apple Watch.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sue.
Um, from your opinion, if one day smartwatch is a standalone gadget and does not require a telephone, would you um would you prefer to buy it or not?
Yeah, I think I would prefer to buy it because like it's smaller and you can wear it. You don't really have to hold it, and I don't think you will like it will be gone because it will be on your wrist forever. So it will be easier with the smartwatch rather than smartphone. But the drawback it might be like it's small, so it might be like really little harder to use compared to smartphone, in my opinion.
Okay, thank you. But just one last question. You think what's the problem with smartwatch? Like that's why what could be like some disadvantage of the
Um,
smartwatch?
yeah, smartwatch is a lot of smartwatch like advanced one. They
Hmm.
even though their technology is really advanced, they still have to connect with the phone for information, or like Wi-Fi and other things. Like they already have to collect the information from the phone. So if you don't have the phone itself, the smartwatch can be work. So
I see. It's good. Okay. Thank you very much, Kap.
thank you. Sorry for everything.
No. I think it's a very good start for the presentation. I think it's a good one. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. Also, I think I would like to add one thing. I think for the smartwatch, I think one of the problems is still same with the smartphone. I think the problem with smartwatch is battery. Especially, I think if you use Apple Watch, I think it lasts only 1 or 2 days at most, and then I think it's gonna be tough. I mean, if you want it to replace a like smartphone, because in that case, I mean, the technologies of battery have to be like, I mean, has to be able to extend the lifetime of the usage of smartwatch. Otherwise, I mean, the smartwatch is going to be very heavy due to the weight of the battery.
I agree. Yeah, I think we will need more technology to improve them in the future.
But yeah, and one thing I think to add on to this, I think one of the reasons that I think that as you said, that there's a demand, that the demand has been skyrocket in for many of the smartwatch, and one of the reason is I think we are more health conscious, and then I think there are many functions that you can use this to detect our like life sign, like the oxygen, like the like SpO2, the heart rate, whatever. I think that's one of the reasons. And then I think right now, I have a friend who buy insurance from one company. They said, and then I saw she wear like smartwatch. She said, okay, she don't really want to wear it, but since if she wear this, the premium can be discounted because.
Wow, I didn't know that before.
Yeah. So I forgot about I don't know the name of the insurance company, but for that insurance company, if you wear the smartwatch and then if you like hit some target, right? So in that case, your health is kind of in good shape. So the insurance company doesn't have to pay for your health, right? I mean for the money to cover your medical fee. So in that case, they use this idea to be able to reduce the premium, the insurance premium. Okay.
That's
Okay.
really
Thank you.
interesting.
Okay. Next one, please.
Thank you.
Okay, and thank you for the question from the audience as well. I like this one. I like this to be continued. So please follow. โอเคคุณชเนตตีครับชเนตตี้ป่ะฮะโทษทีครับ Okay. Please unmute. You forgot to turn on the microphone นะฮะ
Oh, sorry ค่ะชานิตีค่ะ
โอเคชเนตตีโอเคครับโทษทีครับ Can you share your screen or would I have to?
I think so. Should I click the screen or the window?
Depend. It can be the screen, huh? So then you can control everything. The screen's okay. Then you can blow up your slide.
It share already.
Right now I saw the screen, not the. I saw the background. I saw the. Oh, okay. Now I can see. Okay, maybe it takes some. Okay. Good. Okay.
So, Shaneti, gonna talk for today's topics are the evolution of music and
แป๊บหนึ่งนะฮะ
digital.
Seem like the connection is so good, or maybe your microphone not so good. Can you adjust a little bit? Because I can hear a lot of statics noise.
Can you hear me? Not so.
Can you speak longer?
Can you hear me?
So other student, can you hear คุณชเนตี well วะฮะ or the problem is with my computer? Can you hear?
No, I can't hear well either.
Me too.
How about this?
Maybe a bit better. Okay, let's try.
Is it okay?
Much better now.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna start again.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Shaniti. Today I'm gonna talk about digital technologies and music industry. Today's topic are the evolution of music, what is a digital music, and the impacts of the technology on music industry. First of all, the evolution of music. It started at 1877 with a gramophone, or it also called record player. People enjoy listening to music while this gramophone was set in the room, and it's not so portable. Then came the cassette tape in 1932. It's become more portable, and you can carry around a bunch of tape on the go. After that, in 1980, the CD was invented. It is the first digital music innovation. If compared to the cassette tape, it's not so much portable, and like it have many downsides. After that, in 1990s, the biggest evolution in the music industry happened. Thanks to the MP3 player, for the first time ever, you can save your music on the small device without the need of the physical copy. And at the present, everyone can stream and download music on the smartphone. Moving on to what is digital music. We have all heard about digital music, and most of us listen to it every day. The digital music is a method of representing sound as a numerical values. It provides much better sound quality than the traditional analog. And nowadays, most music listeners stream their audio from the web or buy and download tracks in the form of compressed audio formats such as MP3. The process of recording, editing, and promoting music have also been transformed. To make a clear picture, the digital media and analog media are different things. The analog media is where the sound is stored and in the physical form, like the cassette tape and the vinyl record. And for the digital media, it's created by converting the analog data into the digital data. And it can be classified into two types, which are physical digital media and non-physical digital media. One of the most well-known physical source of the digital music is a compact disc, which is CD. And the basic principle of how this works is that the laser reads the surface of a CD, which contains the bits, and it can make sound. And for the non-physical digital media, the example are the MP3 and the audio files. When we talk about digital music or other digital audio files like audiobooks, we normally refer to this type of digital audio storage. And how digital, as you can see, the sound you hear from the live performance is considered as an analog. And when it's recorded and then it's turned into digital signal, making it easier to play and save. For a digital audio signal start with an analog to digital converter, which convert the analog signal from a microphone into a digital signal. And this signal then need to be turned into a particular format like CD, MP3, or the streaming on the internet. Other example of digital audio files formats include AAC, where they use, and WMA and OGG, which can be found in the Windows software. The playback for the digital music files is supported by various hardware products such as computers, smartphones, and television. Lastly, the impacts of technology on the music industry. How did the digital era change the music business? The digital technology led to the growth in the music industry. The internet became advanced that users could share and download music online. From the side of creation of music, back at the time, the creation and recording of music needed thousands of dollars and many enthusiastic participants, but nowadays with digital workstations such as Logic, Pro Tools, Ableton, and many other programs have made the recording process significantly easier and cheaper. And also technology introduced many exciting new sound. With the enhanced technology, mixer, sample manipulators, and other Pro Tools are being introduced, you get to hear more of different noises and sound that you might have never heard before. Yeah, that's the end of my presentation.
Okay, good. Can you please lead the discussion or?
Pardon? Can you speak again?
Oh. Can you please lead the discussion, right? Because after your presentation, you should lead some discussion or maybe ask your friends to join your, to answer your question or whatever.
That's the end of my presentation. Is there anyone have any question?
Yes, yes. Ruang Hao, seems like you're talking in the point of view of consumers that changing their behavior toward the technology that change. What about in terms of the music producers? Do you think this affect a lot?
In terms of easiness, I think it affect a lot because like you can just grab the guitar and play and record it and mix it with the application on the laptop. Not like in the past, it have to be like record in so much thing, but right now it's just one-time job.
Yeah, agree. I think so. We should have a look from TikTok applications where everyone just ready to make up their content in music, which is like so different from the past where people have to gather at their home or pay a lot of money to play in exclusive studio. But nowadays it's a lot more easier. Agree. Thank you.
Thank you.
I would like to know what are the negative effects of the digital music?
In term of the producer who create music, I think nowadays people like download the file for free, and the producer didn't get any money from that.
Good, interesting. So how about in terms of quality? Which one's better between like the digital data and then the analog format?
From my research, it said that the digital are much more better.
Yeah, at the beginning, digital is worse, but I think right now digital music is getting better than the original, analog format. Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. Very interesting. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, and actually, for those who want to ask about this topic, please hold on to your thought because actually today I will in one of my slides I will talk about the music industry as well. But thank you very much, Kun Chanetri, for your presentation. So, in my talk it's going to be much easier because I think you show a lot already, so it's good. So thank you. Okay, so let's start with the slide. So you can download this slide because this is the slide I will talk today. Okay, can you see the slide?
แคนค่ะ
Okay, so yeah, the topic today is innovation in digital technologies and impact on business. So as I mentioned last time, I will use this slide like to like kind of summary, try to make summarize of the class in this semester. So this should cover many things. Uh, I mean, but please don't worry about it too much because if you hear for the first time, but I think majority of you should hear these terminologies that will appear in this slide already. So if anytime, if you have any questions, if I speak too fast or too slow, you can stop me anytime. Okay. While teaching, I would prefer you shout out and then ask me question because sometimes if you type, maybe sometimes I might not see the question that you write on the chat box. So would if you type it out and if you don't see me answer quick, so you can just shout out and then ask me question. I will not get this disturbed. So please let's do that. นะครับ Okay, so let's do it. So today in today's topic, I'll have these are the agenda. So I don't think we can cover all. Maybe first three. So I will talk about the basic concept of innovation because I'm from the College of Innovation. So let me explain just a little bit about innovation and especially innovation in digital technologies. Okay, and then we will talk about one of the terminology that you might have heard in the last few years, and I think it's still a topic, which is over the top or OTT. Next, we talk about business model innovation. Okay, because these are the things that are related, and then we will talk about future disruption, and lastly we talk about nexus of forces, which is one of the report by Gartner's company, which is one of the biggest and largest research internet research company in the world. So they talk about these are the technologies that actually are the technology that really change the landscape of many industry in the last 10 years. And then they said they're going to continue. Okay, so let's talk about this topic today. So first, the basic concept of innovation. So what's innovation? Okay, innovation is a practical implementation of idea that result in the introduction of new goods or service or improvement in offering good or service. So innovation doesn't have to be new. It can be an improvement of the product or service that you have used it in the past. Okay. And then how innovation got created. It started from research and creativity. So research and creativity generate something new. Something new, I will call it invention. Okay. And then this invention or idea is the only first step of innovation. So research and creativity doesn't create the innovation yet. It just creates the invention. But when it changed from invention to innovation, when you can commercialize it, when you can make general public to use it or to buy the product, that's when we call it innovation. Okay, in economics term, innovation is a successful exploitation of the new idea. Okay, so if I have to write innovation as a process, I will call this one innovation process. These are the process to make innovation. So again, it starts from research and creativity, and then this one research and creativity, the result will become invention. Invention is the creation of something new. Okay, and after that we change from invention into innovation. So what example? I think research and activity, you know what it is, right? research like วิจัย right? Creative is ความคิดสร้างสรรค์ right? So these two things make new things. Like new things can be like some art piece or can be paper, research paper that researcher or professors come up with ideas, right? But it's until you change those ideas and try to make it into product and commercial and sell it to the general public, that's when innovation coming from started. Example, like when researchers come up with the idea of touchscreen, like in a paper they publish in an academic journal, but that's the invention, right? That's the idea. That's or if the owner of the idea he afraid that someone might take his idea away, that researcher or that professor, he or she can file a patent, right? File a patent. So to ask for that right to the right that they discover this idea or these technologies. And then, okay, how about innovation? So innovation is like when Apple company, right, change general phone into a smartphone by integrating like touchscreen technologies as well as like concept of app store into it. So in this case, like you turn the concept of touchscreen and add it to the phone, and the phone become innovation. So you change from the smartphone, or you change from the feature phone, just normal phone, into smartphone. So this one is an example of innovation. Okay, so in academic, okay, we usually when we try to classify innovation in the past, okay, in the past we only have these two main types. One is a process innovation, the other one is a product innovation. So let me just give you a brief definition of process innovation and product innovation. A process innovation is it just simply change the way in which the product is made without changing the product itself. Like for example of process innovation is like in the past, suppose you want to assemble one car. How do you do it in the past? Usually you put all the components in the car or of the car into one location, and then you gather a lot of workers, a lot of people in that area, and then everyone try to assemble one car, assemble all the components into one car. That's how you assemble a car in the past. Okay. How about now? If you want to do process innovation, like and one company is doing that very well is a Toyota. So right now, how Toyota assemble or manufacture a car? Anyone know? Have you
using machines?
Yes, using machine. That's one. And before using machine, the common way that Toyota I think have done right now is they use what we call as an assembly line. Okay, so usually before what you usually you gather a lot of people in one location, right? But right now what they do is they create conveyor belt, and then one person will sit on one station, and then when they start assemble the car, they will they will have like some robot or machine that lift up the chassis of the car, put on the conveyor belt, and this conveyor belt will move this chassis from one station to another station. And then at each station, a worker, okay, that's sit on each station will work on one or two simple tasks. And then, like for example, the first worker, he or she might help the robot to insert the machine onto the chassis, and then move on to the next station. Maybe try to put some display. Next station will put on some other things, like maybe one or two simple tasks at a time. So in doing so, to do this is going to be much more efficient than in the past, because like one person, he doesn't need to know many things, and then he only do one small task, so it's less error to occur also. So in this case, these are example of process innovation, because the end result is still the car, right? The car itself doesn't change. What change is the way that we manufacture the car. That's process innovation. How about product innovation? Product innovation is we create new or improved product, okay, without changing any production process. So, but in reality, it's pretty hard, okay, that we create something new without changing the production process. So, like this, as I said, this is academic term, but like let's say, what's product innovation? We create something new or something new or improved product. Okay, so in this case, like what I mentioned earlier, example of product innovation is like iPhone, like smartphone, right? From feature phone to smartphone, you add some more features to the phone. Before, the phone can only make a phone call, receive phone call, send message. Right now, a phone can do almost anything. You can use a phone to buy some food, right? You can use a phone to check weather forecast. You can use a phone to play games, many things, right? So right now, the phone, it's just more than a phone, right? This is a product innovation, okay? So you add or you improve the product or you create something new, okay? So that's a product innovation. But as I mentioned, right, many times, majority of the time, this product and process innovation overlap. Like as I mentioned, like just imagine if you want to create the more smartphone to be a new to be an innovation, right? From compared to the feature phone in the past. If you don't change anything, you don't change the production process, it's almost impossible to create that smartphone. So I have to say, is many times this product and process innovation is kind of overlap in some part. Okay, so but these are the two examples of the types of innovation that that academic talk at the beginning. Okay, right now we have more innovation, more type of innovation. Like for example, let's take a look at this picture, right? I don't know you get to use this thing or not. Okay, this is a iPod Nano, and but I think one of your friends present about music industry today. So I think it's yeah, I think you should be able to relate this, right? Of course, display a digital format file, right? A digital file. So let me ask you a question, maybe a bit unrelated to the music industry, but about the strategy, the reason. You think so as you can see here, Apple like give different choices for consumer to choose. Like for example, they give this gray color, 2 GB, and can hold 500 songs, and then it costs consumer $149. Right? They have like a 4 gig version, like can hold 1,000 songs and 199. And then they have like the black color and red color, like 8 gig version, that will cost them $249. Okay, so suppose if at the time, if you are Steve Jobs, right, if you can choose only one product, right, to sell to the customer, which one you're gonna choose and sell to the customer, and why? Suppose you don't have this many, you can only choose one. Which one you want to sell to your customer?
Can I answer this one?
Sure, of course. That's why
Yeah,
I'm waiting to hear.
Okay, I think I will choose the 149 because it is the lowing price and affordable. So I think it may attack the mass consumer.
Good. Very good. But okay, but if I ask another question, right? If so if Apple want to make the most money, if possible, you think which one they want to sell more?
So if to answer your question, I think maybe the 199 because it's in the middle, and yes, and if they have a price like a 249, I think it's too expensive for the customers to buy it. So I
Good.
think this one is more affordable.
Very good. Okay. So
Can on.
sure.
Yes,
Kun
so
Claire ว่าฮะ
I also agree on what his answer is. Like they may be concentrating on their customer who will be buying 199, and also that they have got more options of colors which may attract many customers. So like there are a variety of choice for that option.
But what if they can pick only one? Suppose no nothing. If they want to pick only one, and suppose if they want to make most profit. So
I still believe it's the 199 because the price is not too high and not too low. And
okay.
the number of songs and the offerings are great.
I think you at first I'm not so sure either, but I believe if they I think from all this product for all this product, the one that they will make profit the most, if they can sell the most, if the one that they make profit the most per product will be the one that most expensive. But as you mentioned, but they don't know which one they can sell the most because this one is too expensive. By 249 is very expensive, and that's the reason why Apple they have to provide these many choices for the customer. Because if they only provide this most expensive one, not all the customer have the same affordability. So if they don't have that much money in their pocket, right? Of course, they want to listen to MP3 songs. What they're going to do, they might go buy a product from their competitors. So as a result, right, Apple does not want that situation to happen. So what they do is they have to provide different versions of the same product to the customer because different customers have different affordability. I mean, maybe they have different preference also. Maybe some of the people they said they only have like 400 or 500 songs in their library, so they don't need this many. Okay, so in this case, this what I want to say is this is a strategy that we can sometimes see is as a modification of the product innovation. So this thing, they have the term for this kind of concept. We call this one product proliferation. Okay, it's this idea to fill up a product space, okay, with a lot of different versions of the same product. Okay, so we can use for these technologies, media, entertainment, many things. Okay, why the company want to do this? Okay, because the company find it more profitable to segment the market. Okay, and trying to offer many different variety of the same product at different price to different target segment of the customer. Because as I mentioned, if you only have one, and if you set it too high or too low, sometimes if you set it too low, also you might lose the opportunity that you can gain more. So in this case, what they do is they suggest you can segment, you can provide different versions. Okay, and also why company want to do so? Because if you do this one, you can fill up the product space. In this case, they have no gap, right? No gap for the other competitor to enter the market. Suppose you only have this one, you only have 149 and 249. There might be a gap in the middle for other competitors to fill in. So in this case, So they're trying to fill up the gap so that new competitors or new entrants will come to the market harder. Okay, this is an example of product innovation as well. Okay, next one, another example of innovation. Right now, as I mentioned before, we only have product and process. Right now, we have something else, something like we call it innovative pricing or pricing innovation. What do I mean by this? Is a way that allow you to charge, okay, the same product to different people at different price. Okay, same product or product or service, we charge different price for different people. Like for example, do we have any product or service that they charge you one price and charge me a different price, man?
Maybe it's Thammasat tuition fee, because foreigners pay one price and we Thais pay one price.
Very good. Very good. What else? So based on different characteristic, right, or status, they charge you one price and then foreigner different price. Definitely.
Like when going to the theme park,
Mm-hmm.
that's price for student, for adult, and also for the elderly.
Mm-hmm. Correct. Or like if unfortunately today this afternoon we don't have foreigner friends like exchange student, but in the morning I give example of like if you want to go to Wat Phra Kaew, the Grand Palace, like for Thai people like us, have anyone been there? How much you have to pay to Wat Phra Kaew, go to enter? จำได้ไหมครับ
I think it's free.
Yeah, it's free. It's free for Thai. But if you blonde hair or like if you speak English, go in, you have to pay 500 baht. So they charge this differently. So like there's a there's a term for this one in economics. We call this thing price discrimination. Okay, we call this thing same thing, price discrimination, innovative pricing, or pricing innovation, same thing. Like, but for us, I mean, we just try to make the term a bit more sexy right now. So just we call it we rename from price discrimination to like innovative pricing or pricing innovation. Like, and then maybe if in this case we can add some technologies into it. Like for example, like yeah, like another example is like for airline ticket, right? Same airline, same seat. If you're gonna fly tomorrow, if you book it two weeks in advance, and if you book it today, the price is gonna be very much different, even though it's the same seat, right? Or if like anything else, or like BTS, right? Many things, or airline ticket or hotel ticket, same thing, right? Because why they can do they can charge people in different pricing system. In this case, they can, because they know the demand and supply right away. So they can do, some people call this one dynamic pricing, because the price keep changing. It's very dynamic. So because of digital technologies, they allow you to price some product in very detailed, very specific for each particular person. So this thing we can call example of innovative pricing also. Okay. Another one that we see more often right now is called service innovation. What service innovation is, as the name suggests, is an innovation how you serve a product or service to customer. Okay. What do we see? Example? Yeah, I think one example we see a lot is when you book the movie, right? In the past, if you want to book a hit movies, right? Maybe what you have to do, you have to you have to go to the movie theater maybe 2 or 3 hours in advance to wait into the queue, right? And then to go from your home to the movie theater, it might take an hour or two. So like the setup time is almost 3 or 4 hours just to watch 2 hours movie. But right now, with major Cineplex right now or SF, I think they also they provide this kind of application that allow you to book the ticket or buy the ticket from your home. So you book it first, so you can be sure that you can watch that movie at this seat, right? Once you go there, you just scan and you go in. You don't have to be in line anymore. So it's much more convenient for the customer. So this example is service innovation. Another one that we see more and more, right? I think is like the mobile banking application, right? Yeah, let me ask you, when was the last time you go to the bank? You still going to the bank? Or let me change other words. In what occasion that you have to go to the bank to do the transactions?
To deposit my savings.
Oh yeah, you still have to deposit at the bank. But actually you don't have to, right? You can go to deposit at ATM machine, let's say. But
what about coins?
Yeah, okay, of course, maybe coins. So what I'm trying to say is, yeah, I think the reason for us to go to the bank will be less and less, right? Majority of the transaction we can get it done by these mobile applications, right? Most of the transactions we can do transferring, we can do many things, we can sell things, we can buy things. I mean, we can do many more things. We can pay for utility bill or whatever via mobile banking. So what I'm trying to say is the bank company, they're trying to facilitate consumer by allowing us to use these service innovations. Yeah. And as a result, we go to the banks less often. That's why they need the physical location less. As a result of this, many banks they try to closing up their branches in the location that not many people go to the banks anymore. Okay. But by the way, but still we still see in some location that physical banking is still needed. Where in Thailand, where you still see a lot of people at that physical location of the bank.
Department store.
Yes, department store. That's the only place. Majority of the location, I think they are losing the customer to go to the branch. Okay, but yeah, in Thailand, it's special case that's in department store. Okay, so yeah, for the mobile banking. Okay, let me go back to this. So I think the first bank in Thailand one of the first bank in Thailand that introduced mobile banking is TMB. And at the time, not many company do it, but I mean, once they do it, and then once they prove to be successful, many banks follow suit. What if you are the only bank that does not provide this mobile banking service? What's gonna happen? Then maybe many of your customers might move away from your bank to another banks because, I mean, for bank is banks. Majority of bank service should be the same in other banks. So people might not hesitate to move to other banks, right? So if you don't adjust, you don't change, if your bank doesn't change, if you don't innovate, if you don't want change, you might die like dinosaur, like in this image. So
Professor, I have a
yes,
question on
yes.
the dynamic pricing. So it
Come on.
means different price at different time, right?
Dynamic pricing means you keep changing the price all the time. It's ability that you can change the price all the time. Like example of we use for dynamic pricing is the airline ticket. So like suppose you buy the ticket right now and maybe 2 minutes later, or you buy 1 hour later, the price could be different. So that's what we call dynamic pricing.
Can I say the hotel does the same too?
Yes, of course. Hotel, mobile, hotel, and then airline ticket, been dynamic pricing. But for others, might not be dynamic pricing because it might not change all the time because other systems, they might not know the demand and supply at the real time like these two industry.
How about stock อะค่ะแบบสต็อกแบบหุ้นขึ้นลงอย่างเงี้ยค่ะมันถือว่าเป็น dynamic pricing ไหม
ก็อย่างนี้ก็ได้ครับ but for stock they have time to open then time to close ไงฮะ yeah it can be dynamic pricing but they have opening and then at the end yes because actually for this one for the stock price is like demand supply and then yeah it in a sense yes it's dynamic pricing because the price of the product keep changing based on demand supply yes อย่างนี้ก็ได้ครับ dynamic pricing so I give this example as opposed to other product or other things that the price doesn't change this often ครับผมโอเคไหมครับ but thank you very much for your question ครับ
เคลียร์ครับขอบคุณครับ
ครับ okay next so like this so what I'm trying to lead to if you are banks or if you are company if you don't change or if you don't innovate you're gonna die someone will disrupt you someone will disrupt you like all this industry that has been disrupted okay and thanks to คุณชเนตีใช่ไหมฮะ your presentation will lead to this one that I'm trying to say so what happened right to this industry I think your friends like presentations very well very good right what happened to you I think you mentioned to the to the creator right of the music so for them it's much easier ถูกไหมฮะ I think your presentation somewhere you see my slide right now the slide is the music slide or the what happened to the industry slide what you see here
What happened this industry ครับ
okay then I have to change a little bit แป๊บนึงนะครับ yeah because your friends mentioned about this right the how it changed right from now โอ้ผมไม่แชร์ตอนนี้เห็นอะไรครับขอโทษทีครับ okay so this what then right you have to make things in this big expensive studio right and now you can use just computer and software to create the songs right and let me backtrack a little bit for the music industry what changed like for the music industry you in the past let me ask you think who have the most power in the industry who's first of all who's involved in this industry one artist second of course we need the audience like the buyer like us the consumer and then we have music record company also right? You think from these three who have the power at the time audience have power yes but I mean let's say suppose 20 years back 20 or even like almost 30 years back when when your friends present this slide
music recorders.
Yeah, music recorder. Maybe in this era, music recorder, like in the era of cassette and baby CD, the one who have the power most is the music record company, because as as your friend mentioned, right, to create one song is very difficult and very costly, and then so actually it's up to the music record company to pick the artist and try to promote that artist to be successful, because music studio, they have power, they have money, they have distribution channel to promote you and to sell your songs. And then why I said in my back in 80s or even 90s, why audience doesn't really have that much power as opposed what we have now. Because at that time, suppose in my time, suppose I want to listen to one song by a very famous artist. They just came out, they just released that news that they're gonna have the new song. What are my ways? What are my possible ways to listen to the song at the time? Can you guess? The
You
option
visit the DVD store
and buy, right? That's one. What's the other way?
Radio.
Yes, radio. That's it. And if I want to listen to the song from the radio, I have to wait. I don't know when they're gonna turn on this song, or I have to make a phone call to ask for the DJ to turn on the song. That's the only two ways. So that means my power is almost nothing. It's up to the, it's up to the money that I have, and then also up to the record company who have the collaboration with the radio channels to turn on the music. So that's what I'm trying to say. The company that the group that have the most power is the music record company. But how about now? Who have power?
Streaming service.
Yes, streaming. But right now streaming, they have many companies. They have many competitors, right? They have Spotify, they have Juice, they have many. But yeah, right now they having more power. But let's say maybe if I ask the question in different ways, who lose power the most? Maybe
artists.
But I think artists right now they have more power than in the past.
I think a music company have.
Yeah, I think music company they lose more power. They lose power the most. Right now, as you can see, I think the music company getting smaller in Thailand and in other part of the world as well. Because right now artists they can make their own music. They have ways to to create music is much easier for them, and then they have platform to share their music to the consumer. And then they don't have to, they can bypass the music record company already. Like this example, like GMM, they are losing money. They keep losing money. They are selling many things also, right? And then for how about consumer like us? Are we like consumer like us? Are we having more power or less power than in the past?
More power.
A lot more power than in the past. If I want to listen to one song, I don't need to buy any song. I can listen for free from any platform that I want. Right?
I think audience is the most powerful sector right now for the music.
Could be.
Yeah, because if artists want a view from the people, so they have to follow the what people need to listen.
Could be. Yes. Yeah, but I just want to say that right now, I think, yeah, audience like us, we have a lot of power. We have many ways to listen, and then even you have say, you have power to say to the artist also, as you mentioned. So that's why I said the industry has changed a lot. Has changed a lot. Books also, right? Film photography, right? People don't take like the normal picture anymore, like and develop. But yeah, of course, some people might say it's come back a little bit, but I think things change a lot, right? At that time, Kodak is #1, right? I mean, they're pretty big company in the world, but right now, yeah, of course, people all know that kind of like it's bankrupt, right? So, like example for film photography, like for film, like taking photos. Let me ask you, why you take photos? Why you take photo? You want to keep as memory, right? What else? You keep it to yourself, or you share with someone else? Usually, I think maybe some people want to take photo and share with someone, right? Especially like for example, in at Tapajan, maybe like 20 years ago, 15 years ago, when my brother graduated, we still use a lot of cameras and take photos and then develop. As a result, if you ever come to Tapajan before, we have a lot of like development film company or shop that develop the printout, because we take a lot of photos here. In the past, how do you share photos? What is how long does it take you to take photos and then until you share photo to the loved one? Like for example, you graduate from Thammasat, you want to send some pictures like during graduation to someone's your loved one in maybe in Chiang Mai. Like it would take like many days. Like for example, like you take photos using the like normal cameras. You developed it, might take few days, and then what if your phone, your camera is not so good on that day, error, so then you lost forever. So many things. But suppose it's okay, it went well. It take 2 or 3 days to develop it. Then it would take about 3 or 4 days to send from Bangkok to Chiang Mai. So it take like almost 7 days just to send a few photos to Chiang Mai. But with digital cameras, next that's the old way. Next, we have digital cameras. Oh no, next this how it works in my time. So we want faster. How do we do it? So we develop it. We take photo, we develop it. It's 3 days. So we have the scanner. We scan it into digital file and then we attach it with the email. So now it will take about 3 days, a bit faster than 7 days. How about next? Next, we have digital cameras. Digital camera, after we take it, we can attach it and send it. It might take 3 or 4 hours, 2 or 3 hours to get home, right? We take photos from Thammasat, we drive home somewhere, and then we attach it on the computer and send somewhere. That's 2 or 3 hours. So we reduce from 7 days to 3 days to few hours. But right now, how do you do it? We have mobile phone. We use, right, the camera apps on mobile phone, take photos and send right away. So now things change a lot. So that's why what I'm trying to tell you that for the film photography industry, people change. People don't really keep, people don't really develop the picture and then try to share with someone via the physical file anymore. Because the goal is to take photos, keep memories, and share with someone. So if we can skip all those process and or make it faster or make it more efficient by skipping like to develop the physical one and convert it one, now we can do everything in one step. So that's why at that time Kodak, they didn't think like this. They think people still in love with the quality of the image of the normal camera. So they misunderstood this, and then I think many more things which I will explain a bit more. But just want to tell you that things change. Movie industry as well, right? I think because of many situations, the movie people go to movie theater less than before. I think everyone agree. You watch TV less than before. You watch movie less than before, with many reasons. Maybe one, we have more choices to to enjoy ourselves, right? Or we have social media, okay? Or we can even watch movies or different contents inside our home. We don't have to go out, okay? So there are many reasons for that, okay? Airline ticket, hotel booking. In the past, if I want to book airline or hotel booking, I have to go to agent company, like ticket agent, to ask them to help me book for the airline ticket or to book for the hotel, because they have access. They can deal with they can get better price. But right now, how do we do it? We have OTA, right? We have online travel agency like Agoda, we have Traveloka, we have, or like hotel.com, many, Expedia, right? And all those things, they even help us to check the rating, to help us check on the rating of different hotel. So in this case, much more convenience. So a lot of agents company have to close down. Okay, phone also, right? In my time, maybe back like 10, 15 years ago, number one phone in the world should be Nokia. Right now, we don't see any Nokia selling the phone in the market anymore, or maybe only one that they will bring back the old model from the past, but doesn't do well at all. Right. So right now, which company sell the most number of phone? Can you guess?
Samsung.
Samsung's number one. Number two, before the trade war between US and China, if I remember correctly, it should be Huawei. Number three is iPhone. Number four is Xiaomi. But right now, I think Xiaomi, maybe they surpass Apple iPhone somewhere around there. But Samsung is number one, and then Nokia is right. I mean, somewhere, I don't know. Maybe they cannot sell anymore. So things change, right? And also software in why phone? Why Nokia? You think what's the reason why Nokia just they I mean at one time they are number one in the world, and right now they have no ranking. What could be the reason? What could be the big one? I mean, one of the major reasons that they cannot compete in the smartphone market.
I think it could be like adaptation. While the world is changing, Nokia still like don't change. It's still the same.
Okay. In what kind of adaptation that they what kind of thing the thing that will change that they don't change? In what aspect? What do you think?
Maybe the design and innovations.
Okay, design could be as well. Like for example, when you mention of design, like I think in terms of touchscreen, I think people get. I mean, of course, when Apple launched at the beginning, they didn't replace Nokia everything at the beginning, but I think bit by bit, right? But for example, starting when with the design and then the user interface, I think people we are easily to use. We I think right now we prefer touchscreen more than like button, right? And also I think one of the things that really changed, like this is a game changer. I think is the application, like App Store or Google Store, because for the phone by like by Nokia, what you buy is what you get. You can add only few applications, but that's it. Of course, at that time, their phone is the best, the quality and everything. But with smartphone, right now you can add more application. But at the time, I mean, for Apple, they have many more applications than the Symbian in like which is the operating system for Nokia. So a bit they are very much advanced. Like the network effect, and which I will talk a bit more on this, that can make the value of the phone, the Apple phone is much better, much more value than just normal Nokia phone. So yeah, and then as a result, Nokia cannot continue. Okay, another one is software. Okay, software also changed a lot. Okay, in the past, if you want to use software like Microsoft Office, you have to buy a license and very expensive, very expensive. Or if you want to use like software like operating system like Windows, you have to buy, unless you use illegal one. But yeah, if you want to use legal one, you have to buy. But right now, majority of the software that we can use right now, no matter it's on computer, on mobile phone, majority of the software I think we can use for free. Right? How how application developer who create the software can make money in that case? They have many other ways. Maybe they have more ways to make money than in the past. Right now they have like subscription. Right, in the past we don't have subscription, but right now even for Microsoft Office they have subscription. Right, before you have to buy very expensive one time, but right now you can just buy it, like you just subscribe it. You only use for 1 month, you just only pay for 1 month service or 1 year service. That's subscription based. Or sometimes some application, some game or something, we can use it for free. If you want a bit more advanced, we just pay a little bit. Right? So things change a lot. Software industry also change. We see many expensive, as I said, we see many expensive software now. They change into on-demand subscription instead of a one-time thing. So many things happen. So later, okay, after a break, okay, I talk a lot. So after a break, I will try to summarize what are the other reasons, what are the main reason for all, like what are the common reason why all these industries has been disrupted. Okay, so let's take a 15-minute break. So maybe we come back at 2:45, and then the third presenter will present, and then I'll continue. Okay, ขอบคุณครับ Let's come back at 2:45 นะฮะ โอเคคุณดนดลยาครับ if you are here you can share the slide นะครับ
Let me try.
Okay.
Wait a second นะคะ
ครับผม
Can you hear my screen? Can you see my screen?
I think so ครับ can you yeah yes okay
Okay.
but right now I see only my page okay you have to change twist the screen good okay good you can start ครับ
It's presenting right?
yes
Okay. So good afternoon. I am Don Leah. And let me start off with a question. How many of you have never shopped online? Well, due to this current situation, I think almost everyone has some experience with online shopping. For some of us, it might be a crucial part in our daily life. And today's presentation will be about e-commerce. It will be divided into 3 main sections. I will start with different types of e-commerce, followed by talking about some innovative development in this field. And lastly, I will talk about some impact of e-commerce to the world. And the presentation will last about 5 to 7 minutes. And I will leave some questions for you guys to discuss at the end. First of all, what exactly is e-commerce? E-commerce or electronic commerce is a combination of internet technology and business. It helps business to save on costs and reach more customers effectively while allowing customers to buy products at their fingertips. There are 3 major types of e-commerce, which are e-marketplace, social commerce, and e-tailer. And I will tell you what they are so you can understand the difference between the 3 of them. Let's start with the most popular one, the e-marketplace. They are platforms that act like a market, where sellers and buyers can meet specifically for buying and selling purpose. For example, Shopee and Lazada. Moving on to the second one, social commerce. It basically is buying and selling on social media platforms, such as Facebook, Instagram, and Line. And the third type is the e-tailer, which is when business open their own website to sell their product directly to their customer. Some examples are Uniqlo.com and Watson.com. And I hope you get some idea about this type of e-commerce. Now, let's talk about some innovative development in this field. And as e-commerce is rapidly developing, I had found some extended innovation that I use in e-commerce, which are the AI and live stream. AI or artificial intelligence are widely used in the fashion and beauty industry. There are some e-tailers that provide AI for their customer to try their product online, whether the product are makeup, clothes, or even furniture. And this is an example for Sephora. It is like the customer can try on different cosmetics online through their application. And the other example is from IKEA. It allows us to try whether that piece of furniture matches our room or not. And let's move on to live stream. Using live stream is also a growing trend on social media, where the seller can have real-time interaction with the buyers. People view this type of activity as a source of entertainment, not only for shopping. And PimReply could be a great example on this topic. And let's talk about the impact of e-commerce to the world. It significantly changed the customer behavior and how business are conducted. As a person who constantly shops, I have to admit that I am so grateful that e-commerce exists. As the digital innovation make my life much easier. So let's say I want to buy a shirt. Without e-commerce, I will have to go out to the mall and search through racks and racks of clothing. to find what I want. After that, I will have to line up at the cashier to make a purchase. On the other hand, with e-commerce, I can buy the shirt anywhere and anytime. In addition, it is much more convenient and timeless to search for the shirt I want using the visual search. Also, I can purchase the shirt immediately through online banking. And as you can see, e-commerce make a huge shift in business and customer behavior as it is time-saving, flexible, and cost-saving. Therefore, Thailand e-commerce industry is still expected to see significant growth in the future, driven by the new normal shopping trend. And even though customers are becoming more cautious about their spending due to the economic recession, and the e-commerce industry is disrupting the physical retail industry as people are seeking for convenience. So business need to adapt to this changing trend to be able to survive. And that brings me to the end of the presentation. But let me end it with a discussion question. As I had talked a lot about the benefit of e-commerce, but there are also some drawbacks. Can you guys think of some negative impact or disadvantages of e-commerce?
Okay, very good ครับ
I think that like when using e-commerce, some like people can like actually fabricate the content or even like the product itself. So like maybe some people buy the product via like online platforms, and then when they receive it, it's not like exactly like what they saw on the platform.
Anyone else want to add on?
And I think fraud can occur sometimes. You got scammed.
Yeah. So if that is all, thank you for all of your response. I agree with and Jay, right? E-commerce, it will need some time for the order to be shipped, and also we will not be able to see the actual product before purchasing, and also fraud can happen as well. And thank you for your attention.
Okay, good. I have one question. So, to prevent the fraud, how can we do it right now? Of course, we know that's gonna be that's a problem that many people experience, and still, how I mean, from your research, any e-marketplace that try to solve that kind of problems? Because like for e-tailer, we will not see that kind of problems because we buy from the actual company, right? Mostly we buy from actual company. But if we buy from marketplace, because marketplace is just a platform, right? It's like a market. We buy via the market from the product from the seller. So in this case, any platform that provide ways to prevent this fraud?
I would like to suggest Shopee and Lazada because they have like a really well managed procedure of ordering product and how the seller need to ship our product. They will tell us the exact date that the order will be shipped, and if we do not receive the order in time, we can like cancel it or like get our money back. So I think it is really safe to shop on some e-marketplace like Shopee and Lazada.
Yes.
It would be really risky to buy things on social media with person that we do not really know them.
Yes, I think so. I think especially Shopee. I don't know Lazada have the same ways or not, but Shopee they have a system called escrow. But probably they might not call this one. It's like a system that suppose you want to buy a mobile phone from the seller through Shopee. So what you do, like you pay 10,000 baht, right, for the phone. So and then when you send money, when you pay money to Shopee, Shopee hold the money, okay, until, I mean, and then once you make the once you make the order, the seller send the product to you, and then once you get the product, I think you will have like up to 7 days to check the product, and then Shopee will ask you, or if you get the message, they will ask you that you please check the product, and then if it's okay, they will release the money to the seller. So I think this is one of the ways that Shopee use it to prevent scam or prevent the fraud for the consumer. I think that's one of the thing that I think is like the thing that add on to Shopee. I think that's one of the reasons why people buy something from Shopee now also. But I don't know whether Lazada use the same method or not. Anyone use Lazadaไหมฮะ? And then do they have the same method to pay the seller?
Yes, we can check the product before accepting it.
Okay, because I think at the beginning Lazada doesn't have these features. I think Shopee is the one who started with these features, and then maybe Lazada they follow suit. Okay, thank you very much ครับผม ขอบคุณนะครับ Okay, next one please คุณกัญจนะฮะ
ครับ เดี๋ยวผมลองแชร์สกรีน
Okay.
Do you see it?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So I'll be presenting about how social media influences our brains. This is a topic that really intrigues me, especially with psychology and everything. I hope this can relate, at least with social media, to our topic of technology and interesting things. All right. All right. So just to start off with why social media is important, just because I want to give you a basic overview. The benefits of it is actually just because, like, obviously, as we know, we have it helps us have good communication, as in if I go abroad in this country and I want to keep contact, if I want to keep connections, it really helps. Publicity for jobs that require this aspect, such as, if you want to be a star, if you want to be famous, if you want to create content, as we go into more work opportunities, it's really important. We can work at home, we can do anything we want, we can create content, we can get sponsors, everything. There's a sharing of culture and tradition, as we see like natives coming up on TikTok, Instagram, etc., sharing their cultures, cooking, songs, be it. We learn, grow together, as we can learn to do anything with one click of a button. We can search anything up and we grow together. Yeah, and comes to my last point, which is work at home, which I've already addressed. All right, but with all these good things, right, there's always negatives to it, as with innovation, as with everything. With positives, there's always negatives. So we'll get into that mainly as our point. So we'll look into our neurological risk. Neurological risk is in how it affects our brains, if it physiologically affects anything with hormones, etc. A big problem, like big problems here, are attention problems and like the overload of content. So I'll briefly run you through the topics and then we can get into it later. The first one is content is really easily consumed. You can really refresh anything by the touch of your finger. And this really causes, one, attention problems, two, memory problems. Your transactive memory is affected and your memory retention is affected. Obviously, there's a lot more effects because of all of these overload of content, but we'll touch on these memory and attention problems right now. See, there's this term called classic conditioning. It's it's developed by a scientist called Pavlov, and he's used classical conditioning to condition dogs to do what they want by using a stimulus and a response. And this is really interesting because you start off with, because there's so much content and fresh information, and us refreshing the page every time to find new content, it's actually a type of conditioning. See, Pavlov used conditioning with dogs by using a bell and food. So he sees how the dogs react to the bell. Once after he uses the bell, he gives it the food, right? And then after a while, just with the bell, it starts to know what you need to do. It starts to sit up and wait for the food. This is the same thing. We're conditioning ourselves with social media by refreshing all the time, and this creates an association in our brain, which it's okay. I'll go on with what type of conditioning it actually is. It's called a variable ratio conditioning. See, we see on our left, which has 4 types of conditioning: fixed ratio, variable ratio, fixed interval, and variable interval. The meaning of variable ratio conditioning is every time you do something, you get a reward, a kind of incentive for it by how many times you do it. This is used in slot machines. This is why slot machines is so effective in getting people to waste all their money, getting people addicted. Slot machines use variable ratio conditioning by whenever you pull the lever, you anticipate a reward. And once in a while of those actions, you actually get a reward. This causes the brain to kind of anticipate the reward all the time. Instead of getting a reward all the time, you get it once in a while, which makes the action so addictive. This is the same with refreshing content all the time. You can do it so many times that you're kind of waiting for new content to excite your brain. And obviously, because this creates a response in your brain, which is a release of neurotransmitters, this causes addiction, which is classified as the most addictive type of conditioning, the variable ratio. All right. How does this affect attention? Well, our brain has this thing called neuroplasticity. It's the ability of our brain to keep changing due to certain circumstances. So if you believe in evolution, if you don't, that's fine. But our brain has this thing that kind of goes along with the evolution mindset, which is whichever situation we're placed in, our brains can adapt to it. Because we're constantly refreshing our brain with new content, this causes the brain to the part of brain that keeps attention span in check to shrink, and it can't retain much attention. So you yourself is affected by it. Yeah, this is the theory of neuroplasticity. It affects this brain because it physically changes. Yeah. Now we go on to memory problems. Well, transactive memory is the first thing that's important. I think we've learned this in MK, which is selective attention. Transactive memory is kind of important in selecting what's important for us to memorize. So because of the overload of content, our brain's in use all the time. We're addicted to it. Our attention's not good. This affects our transactive memory, as we can't really detail what's important, what we should listen to, because there's so much information that we can't just, our brain gets tired of trying to memorize it all. We go on to selective attention, which we learned in MK, the psychological theory, which we see, hey, if we read a newspaper and one line stands out to us, that's selective attention. Our brain naturally focuses on things that it thinks is important, which you're constantly ruining by overloading your brain with so much content that it doesn't know what to focus on now. So it focuses on everything and you forget everything, which obviously goes on to memory retention. You can't memorize anything if it's too much. Yeah. And then after that, obviously encoding is part of memory retention. Your brain can't encode the information going into the brain, and you can't recall it back, which these are all proven theories of memory problems. So what do? We use it moderately. We don't overload our brain with 12 hours screen time. Obviously, I'm the one that's doing that. I'm not generalizing to anyone. I'm the one who has like 10 hours of screen time, which this is kind of a wake-up call for everyone who has the same problem as me. Yeah, it causes attention memory problem. So the solution is to use it moderately. Everything is done by moderation. It'll make us happy. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Very interesting.
All right.
Hi,
Kanchana.
Yes.
I wonder, since you have mentioned all these bad things for the brain, are there any good effects social media has to our brain?
Oh, great question. Thank you. I think, well, in my opinion, I think if we're looking at neurological sides of things, and obviously not touching on entertainment or anything, obviously we have like the good sides, as in like the benefits I listed, like connection. But if we look into neurological, physiological things we can see, it's at least to the body, it's the release of transmitters. Obviously, when we see good things, when we see positive things, we slowly shift our mindset, and we're affected really well by it, because our brain actually releases serotonin when we see good things. It releases oxytocin, which are necessary neurotransmitters in making us happy. Yeah.
That's perfect. Thank you.
Thank you. Does anyone else have a question? All right, I think we're done.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, sorry about that. But I think the presentation is very good. I really enjoy it. It's give me another perspective of social media. I mean, I don't know, I mentioned in this room or not, I watch the documentaries in Netflix called Social Dilemma. That's one also interesting, but doesn't go into, detail in this, but I think this was interesting. Yeah, but yeah, I like your ending that we should use it moderately. I myself, I use more than 9 hours per day, especially now. I think we use a lot more than before. So yeah, let's us all try to reduce some time on the screen. Better for eyes, other as well. Thank you for coming up. Just curious why you chose this topic.
Well, I don't know. I think social media is something that's always intrigued me, and obviously since we're on the subject of, well, no, I mean psychology always intrigued me, but since we're on the topic of like digital anything, it's hard to find anything that influences our psychological being instead of well, and then someone said social media. I think someone asked you about social media on call last time, and then I heard it and I was like, so I waited for everyone to type in what they were presenting about, and then I saw no one talk about social media, so I was like, okay, maybe I can implement neuroscience and psychology into social media, because I think the human mind is the most important thing there is to our bodies. So yeah, it's just something intriguing to me. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Hey Gan, just some more questions.
Yes.
Do you think that people recognize this as a big deal for them in their life? Since I see many of my friends who they are overwhelming themselves from using too much social media, but I don't think that they trying to change their behavior from the issue.
I personally think we all recognize that it's an issue, but we just don't touch on it because obviously our mind does like a weighing of values and benefits and obviously the downsides, and we always see entertainment as something better, like has more of a value than downsides. Especially with social media, like you're addicted, like uh it's proven that we are all addicted to our phones, and it's even for me, it's hard for me to depart from my phone, you know, like whenever I go to the bathroom I gotta bring my phone with me, whenever I shower I gotta listen to music, you know. It's I feel like it's more addiction than anything, because if we see we're weighing entertainment and the waste of time with all these like neurological problems. I feel like we all know that there's a lot of downsides. It's just humans are prone to the easy way out, to entertainment, to addiction. That's my thoughts. I hope it makes sense.
Yeah, thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Interesting.
Okay, thank you very much. I have a student named Adam. Mr. Adam, are you exchange student?
Excuse me? I didn't hear you.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Are you an exchange student?
Yes, I'm exchange student.
Yes. Okay, good. So welcome. So why don't why don't we talk a little bit? Can you please introduce yourself just a bit so we know who you are? So and then as I talked to my student last time, I want this class to be interactive. So yeah, if you want to share, you are more than welcome. But maybe if you just can introduce yourself just a bit, would be nice.
Yes, for sure. This is my first lesson because I haven't received the link till today. So this is my first lesson. I come from Czech Republic.
Can you turn on the camera? It would if you can, would be nice.
Yes. I can.
Yeah. Thanks.
So hi, my name is Adam. I'm from Czech Republic. I'm 22 years old, and my major in Czech Republic is econometrics and statistics. Basically, we model some situations, economical situations, and things like that.
Cool.
And I came to explore Thailand a bit.
Okay. So you right now you're in Bangkok or you're in Phuket?
Right now I'm in Phuket.
You're in Phuket. So how many days left in the for the quarantine thing?
No. We went there from Bangkok for a small vacation because we left on one accommodation in Bangkok called a Marination, and from there we found like a big group of people, and we traveled together to Phuket for a small vacation for a few days just to chill out.
Oh, okay. And then you are coming back to Bangkok later?
Yes. Tomorrow I'm coming back.
Okay, I see. Okay, enjoy.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
So yeah, as you can see that like in this class, one of the activity that we do have is we're gonna have a 5 to 7 minute presentation on the topic related to digital technologies and its impacts on business and society actually. So and I think you can see the example. So maybe after the ad drop period, when I get everyone names on the list, I will assign you the date, okay, that you have to make a presentation similar to this. Is that okay?
Yeah, it is okay. Thank you.
Okay.
And are there any more instructions about the presentation?
Not. I mean, I don't really have specific like instruction. Like, is 5 to 7 minutes presentation, and then the topic just relate to digital technologies and its impact on business or society. It's okay. Anything that relate to digital technology is totally okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay, you're welcome. So if you have any questions, I don't know, you have our like group. You see,
not yet, but I will definitely join.
Okay, please. Yeah, if you have any question, you can ask me or maybe your friends in this group, or you contact me. It's okay.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Kapung krap.
Any other international students in this Microsoft team? Do I miss anyone here? Because I just happen to scroll down the list here. Did I miss anyone? Yun Mini Ang. Why?
Yes.
Okay. Are you exchange student or are you a Thai student? You present or are you?
I'm not Thai. I am Burmese, but I'm not an exchange student.
Oh, were you? I mean, did you introduce yourself last time?
Oh no, I just joined this for the first time.
Okay, then why don't you can you please introduce yourself a bit?
So I am Unimi, or you can call me Michelle. I'm from Burmese, Myanmar.
Mhm.
Yes, I joining the BBA program and majoring at MK marketing.
Okay. So you starting since last semester or this semester?
Last semester.
Okay, but okay. Oh, but you probably you okay. So
Yeah,
now
I
you're
am
back.
registration.
Oh, okay, I see now. I totally okay. Okay, good. Thank you very much. So yeah, after the airdrop period, I will assign the time slot for you and Adam later. Okay. So I have only two. Okay, good. Thank you very much. Okay, let's continue. Again, once I mean, as you can see, as I told you, I want this class to be interactive, right? Otherwise, it's gonna be so boring. You listen to me all the time, and then I know my lecture is not so fun. So maybe please help me to get through these 3 hours, okay, in the afternoon. So it's not so fun. Okay, let's continue. Okay, so, oh, okay, I have one thing. Please wait. Okay. I have one more student. His name is George, right? Nosuke. Are you here?
I'm not an
He has
exchange
just
student.
arrived from Tokyo.
Ni
George
hao.
Nosuke.
Ni hao.
I don't think
Ni hao,
Japanese.
Mandarin.
Ni hao's Chinese, bro.
So maybe can you introduce yourself a bit, Mr. Nosuke-san?
No, that's actually my Instagram name.
Oh. Also, your friends just joking you?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry. Okay, so let's continue then. Okay, can you see my screen, Cap?
Yes, hi.
Okay, let's continue. So I mentioned earlier, I spent too much time on like explain what happened to this industry. So just want to summarize like from my point of view, okay, why this industry has been disrupted. I think there are maybe 3 common reasons why. Could be one is the digitizations. What do I mean by that? Maybe this one related to this one related to all this industry. As mentioned in your friend's presentations, like music industry. So for all this industry, if you see one thing in common is all this industry, the product, the thing that you have in this industry, you can convert it to from the analog format into digital formats. So all the content can convert from analog format into digital format so that you can read, you can present, you can deliver, you can send to other computer or other mobile phone or other tablet. So ability to convert from analog format to digital format, we call digitization. Okay, as you can see, right? Right now we have like all these things we can convert into digital formats, and then you can use all these service or product on mobile phone or computer. Okay. Next one, I think, is the advancement of broadband internet. This could be the reason why all this industry been disrupted. Is because let me give you example. Like I think you all use. I think majority of you have used Netflix or YouTube. Let's imagine maybe 10 years ago, if we use what's your experience, what your user experience when you use YouTube or Netflix, right? Imagine, or if you let's imagine if you want to watch 4K movies on internet maybe 10 years ago, or what if Netflix want to stream the 4K movies on internet 10 years ago? If they want to provide this service, what's going to happen? Are we, as a user, are we going to subscribe to this service? Probably not, right? Because the internet at that time is still very slow. It cannot, right, stream all these high definition movies to us. Or why all of a sudden right now we do all the online shopping like e-commerce, like your friend's presentation? Why we do not hesitate to do that? Why we do not hesitate to buy stocks online? We um, why we do not we are not afraid to buy some crypto, or we do transactions everything online? Because right now the internet is much more uh, fast, much faster, or much more secure than in the past, right? Because of advancements of the internet right now, we see many other applications that allow us to do many more things.
Professor,
right? Yes.
What does adoption of inexpensive smartphones have to do with the drive of these situations?
Okay, because I haven't mentioned, because right now I'm on the second one, so now I'm going to talk about the third one.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. So good. So how this involved, right? I think because of this, okay, because I think right now, because we have a lot of the adoption of inexpensive smartphone, not only inexpensive, it's very powerful smartphone. And as a result, you see many more activities we get it done on the smartphone. Like for example, if you want to listen to music in the past, like of course we need radio, we need something else, or like in your friends eras, like we need, maybe we need a computer to play on the, how do I say, on the we need computer to play the MP3 song or AAC format, or books also. But we need a computer to um to to read something like the format, like the ebook on the computer. Or if I want to send the photos earlier, right, I have to scan and send it via the computer. So everything at a time. Or booking, do online booking, or airline or hotel booking. Majority of the thing we need a computer. But at the time, computer is very, very expensive. But what I'm trying to say is right now, you have smartphone. Okay, your smartphone. Oh, sorry about that. Okay, just 1 second. โอเคผมสอนอยู่อะครับผมเดี๋ยวผมเข้าไปมหาลัยขอบคุณมากครับครับขอบคุณมากเก๋สวัสดีครับ Sorry about that. So smartphone. So what I'm trying to say is everything right now, what I mentioned earlier, you can get it done on the smartphone, even more efficient than you do on the computer, which is very, very expensive at the time, and even now more expensive than smartphone. Right now, your smartphone, like your 5,000 baht smartphone, you can do almost everything I mentioned. You can watch TV. You can even some students even use smartphone to have online class like this, right? You can pay for your utility bill. You can watch Netflix. You can, I think, whatever you can do on the smartphone. So that's why I said once people change their behavior and use the smartphone to do all those things, I think many of the industry, all these things change. That's I think one of the reasons why I say, like right now when you want to book the hotel ticket, right, airline ticket, you just open up application Agoda. You use Expedia or you use Traveloka. You use your mobile phone. That's it, right? Take photos. In the past, we need the camera, right, or digital cameras. But right now, you just need your mobile phone, right? Listen to music also, read books or movies. I think majority right now, I think you can get it done on your small mobile phone. Inexpensive but powerful mobile phone. I don't know. Did I answer your question?
Yes, you really did.
Okay, thank
That
you.
was clear.
Okay. Next one. Okay. Oh, did I? Okay. So let me just skip one thing, just quick. Okay. So why? Okay, if you ask me why mobile phone is so, I mean, to continue from this concept, why mobile phone is getting inexpensive, but at the same time become very powerful. Like if we compare, right? Suppose if we compare like about food, right? For food, for one dinner, for one meal in my time, like I pay 30 baht, which is $1 in Thailand. But right now, I think at least 100 baht, right? The price of the food, the price is going up every year, follow the inflation, right? Same thing with car getting more expensive. However, smartphone become cheaper and become cheaper in a sense, but somehow very powerful. Smartphone in my time, very expensive. Like I buy like Nokia phone at the time like 30,000 baht and cannot do anything much except make phone call and then send SMS. That's it. But right now, your 5,000 baht smartphone by Huawei or Samsung or even from Xiaomi, I think can do what I mentioned earlier. What are the reasons for that? The reason for that is this some kind of phenomenon that noticed by this guy. His name is Gordon Moore. He used to be the ex CEO of a company called Intel. Okay, and I think probably maybe majority of you should know, Intel is a chip maker company, largest in the world. Like all the PC computer run it by Intel chip. Okay, and I think at one time, MacBook, okay, powered by Intel chip as well. And then this Gordon Moore guy, he noticed one thing. He noticed that, based on several years of data that his company collect, okay, he found that the chip performance per dollars doubles, as well as the cost drop by half every 18 months. As a result, because the chip is the heart of the computer, is the heart of the mobile phone. It's very expensive part. So he said he saw that one of the reasons why the price of this computer go down is because of this chip price go down. So he saw this phenomenon with the performance of the chip double every 18 months, and then the price dropped by half. The cost dropped by half every 18 months. This phenomenon we call Moore's law. Moore's law, and this is one of the reasons why we see the mobile phone getting more inexpensive, and at the same time the performance going up every year because of Moore's law. Okay. Just want to show you one picture, right? What is this picture? What's this image? Can you guess where is this? This is a library. This is a library in Cincinnati, about 140 years ago. So let's imagine, right? Let's imagine if I ask you to write a term paper, a good term paper, or if you have to write a good academic paper to publish in a journal, how long would it take you to search through all this information? Maybe not only in one single library, you have to search your information in different locations of the libraries. It's going to take many days, many months to write a good paper, right? So the process to write a paper is pretty tough at the time. But what if I ask you to write a good term paper right now, or write academic paper that have some citing or some reference? Right now it's much easier because we are in the Google era, right? We can search on many things on Google, right? On Google search, we have like many places that we can access via the browsers, right? So what I'm trying to say is I think things getting much easier. Yeah. And then another one, yeah, before the smartphone eras, yeah. I think you might have seen this thing, and your friend mentioned about this product, right? This gadget, we call it MP3 players, because this is a players that allow us to play the digital music format, right? And then what is this? This is a calculator, right? If you want to add something, it's a calculator. And then this one I mentioned earlier is a digital compact, right? So we use this a point and click camera. We use it to take photos. Like in my time, I use this camera, take photos, and then I attach this to a computer, right? And then try to download the picture, the digital file from this to my computer, and then I attach this picture with my email and send to my families, right? That's how I I I send the photos to my family, right? That's how, right? Or this one is a game console. This is a TV. TV, we all know, like this is a TV, right? So this is these are the gadgets, right? So what are these things? Right now, I think we can have access to all the service that could provide by all these gadgets on a single smartphone. Right? We can have all these services that we can get from all these products on a single smartphone, right? Is that right? So what is this? Like, for example, what is this in a smartphone? What is this? This this could be just one. Hold on. This could be just one application, right? On a smartphone, right? One like calculator application. This could be one digital camera in a one application like called camera in a smartphone. This like could be music app. This could be game app. This could be TV app. Can be Netflix, right? So as you can see here with the smartphone right now, actually smartphone also disrupt many of the industry here. Right now, I think it's very hard to sell the digital camera unless you sell like DSLR or maybe mirrorless. But for this type of compact camera, it's very hard to sell right now. Calculator also, you cannot sell that much anymore unless you sell, I mean, for scientific or even for financial calculators, you can have application installed on your mobile phone. If your teacher allow you to take into the exam room, but then you don't really need to buy a very expensive calculator. I mean, scientific or financial calculator anymore, right? This thing, no more, right? No one buy MP3 players anymore. It's just one application on your mobile phone, right? So that's why I said, actually, this thing really changed or really disrupt a lot of industry. Inexpensive smartphone because it integrates many things. Okay, and yeah, and then I mentioned, right, why it's cheap and at the same time very powerful because of Moore's law. Okay.
อาจารย์ครับ
ครับผมเชิญครับ
What is the reasons behind more laws ครับ I mean why is the chip really get cheaper because like they produce more or something ครับอาจารย์
Yes. Why it's getting cheaper? That's a very good question. Okay. If you take economics, right? I think you will. And then there's a law. I mean there's not law. And there's a term called economy of scale. Economy of scale, meaning if you produce something a lot, if you produce something a lot, the average cost will go down. Why? Why? If you ship a lot, if you even not only ship but ship, I think you really see, yeah, you really can hit the Moore's law, the economy of scale. But actually, not only ships have other things as well. But for ship, just the cost to produce at the beginning is very expensive at the beginning. But if you produce in big quantity, the cost will drop more than just normal product. That's all. But just go back to why if you produce if you produce more, why the cost will go down? What kind of cost will go down? I think it's a very good question. So for cost, okay, if we go, I mean, I'm not sure I mean, most of you take Econ 101 or the first econ, which is microeconomics, right? The total cost, right? We have let's say if I can classify two type of costs, we have what we call as variable cost and we have fixed cost, right? So fixed cost plus variable cost equal to total cost. Okay, what is fixed cost? Fixed cost is a cost that no matter how many units of product that you produce, it's fixed, it stays same. Whereas the variable cost is a variable cost depend on the number of product or number of units of product that you produce. If you produce more, you pay more. Like for example, variable cost example is raw material. For example, if you want to produce, like, let's say a tables, right? Like variable cost could be the wood, the nut, the bolts, those kind of things. That's variable cost. Whereas the fixed cost could be maybe the building that you have to rent anyway, right? You have to rent for your employee, for your manager, something you have to pay, or salaries that you have to pay your manager every month anyway. So that's a fixed cost, and then the variable cost is the raw materials. So when we have economy of scales, what kind of costs go down?
Must be the fixed one.
The fixed cost will stay the same, but what is going down is the average fixed cost.
What's that?
Average fixed cost mean, so for example, for the tables, right? If we rent the whole building for our company, suppose we only produce one table. If we like pay the rent maybe 50,000 baht per month. So the rent, I mean the average fixed cost is like the fixed cost, which is 50,000 baht per month, divided by 1, which is a number of the table that you produce in that month, right? But what if you produce a lot in that month? You use that building to produce 10,000, right? So that means average fixed cost will go down. Okay, because fixed cost is the same, but the number, which is the number of tables, you produce a lot, so average fixed cost will go down. At the same time, average variable cost will go down also. Because variable cost, let's think about this is the raw material, which is like the wood, the nuts, the bolts. Suppose if you want to buy the raw mat just to build one table, usually the cost that the vendor will charge or the supplier that charge you, it's gonna be higher than if you buy, like maybe if you negotiate with them, I want to buy lots of wood, lots of nuts, lots of bolts because I want to manufacture 10,000 tables. So they can give you discount in that case, right? So the raw material in this case, which is the average variable cost, will go down as well. As a result, if you add up the average variable cost and average fixed cost, which is If you sum it up, it will be average total cost will go down as you produce a lot. And this is the reason why economy of scale happen. That's why people say, okay, why we have to produce a lot? This is because of this reason. Because it can reduce both average fixed cost and average variable cost. Same thing, for exchange student in Thailand. I don't know in the Czech Republic. In Thailand, we like all you can eat stuff. Like in Thailand, we call buffet. Right now, there's a chain called Suki Tinoi, which is like I don't know, hot pot buffet, getting very popular. And I have to ask you at the beginning.
Can I ask you? What
Yes?
was the name? What was the name that you told me?
Suki Tinoi.
Sukiti.
SUKI. And then this is very popular actually.
Okay, I have to try.
You can go try Suki Tinoi.
Professor, you Google it for him. Show him the image.
Okay. You can
Thank you
search.
very much.
I already type it. So what I'm trying to say is, why a buffet restaurant? Why they need to expand? Why do they have to increase the number of branches? What could be the reason?
You mean same reason with economy of scale?
Yes, that's the whole reason. They want to get their cost down. Because like for buffet restaurant, the margin is very low, right? The way that they can make money is they have to cut down their costs. And then the way that they can cut down the cost is they have to expand so that they can get the cost lower than their competitors. Same thing with big company. Why they merge? Why they want to get bigger? Same reason, economy of scale. Because they can reduce both the average fixed cost and then average variable cost. Of course, in some company, they can reduce more on the variable cost, or in some company, they can reduce more on the fixed cost. Okay, so that's the reason. And then this can apply to the chip maker as well. But thank you for your question. And sorry for, I used a lot of time to explain for it, but maybe if you are interested, I think this is a valid question to ask. But I think you're gonna hear more and more the term economy of scale, probably not only in my class, but in your marketing class, in your strategy class or other class. I think economy of scale is the term that you hear a lot in business. Okay, let's continue. Okay, some more term that you might have heard is network effect. Okay, a network effect is a phenomenon by which, value or utility a user derive from a product or service depend on the number of users of compatible product. And also, network effects are typically positive, resulting in a given user derive more value from a product or as user join the same network. So actually, network effect, they have two things. One, some people might call direct network effect, mean that if you have more people who join your network will be more valuable. Okay. For example, this example is like a phone network. At the beginning, if you have only 2 people, right? The value is only for these 2 people to talk to each other. But imagine if you buy a mobile phone right now, right? Right now we have like more than like 5 billion mobile phones selling each day. No, each year, not each day. So that means a lot of people that you can connect to, right? So the more people who use the phone, the more people you can connect to, or the more people who use Facebook. Like if you join Facebook today, you can reach out to like 2 billion accounts around the world. This is network effect that caused by the number of people in the network. Okay, some people will call it direct network effect. Okay. Another one, I just don't want to focus more, but I mean, if you are interested, people will call it indirect network effect. Mean that the product or something that relate to the network will create the value for the network. Like for example, why at the beginning people use iPhone or telephone from Android a lot more, and eventually drive out or make Nokia phone disappear or obsolete or run bankrupt or no more in bad business. One of the reasons is that if you buy a phone from Apple, which is iPhone, you can have access to at that time like 10,000 or 1,000 of application on App Store. Whereas if you buy a Nokia phone, you just get what you buy. That's it. Or maybe you might have only few numbers of application that you can install from Symbian operating system by Nokia. So the number, right? The number of application that you can install on other smartphone platform like iOS or Android could have a network effect on the on the operating system, like on the have the effect to draw people to use the phone from Apple or from Android platform more than to use a phone from Nokia. I don't know. You can see this. Like one is actual phone, right? We if more people use it, we attract people. But in this case, not only the phone itself, but the software that you can use inside the platform or inside the ecosystem will attract people to join into this ecosystem more. This can be viewed as network effect as well. Okay.
So the first one, the direct network effect, we can refer it to a smartphone. So the more people join network effect, the more valuable it becomes. But the second one, the indirect one, it is something not totally related to network effect, but it gets you to join much in the network effect, like Play Store and App Store.
Yes, but inside the application, so people value not only the
hardware,
not only the hardware that you can connect to each other, but the software that come with it, like the software, the application, or all those things inside the ecosystem that you can gain from joining the network. That's some people call it indirect network effect.
I got it. Thank you.
You're welcome. So same thing with Facebook, right? Facebook have both. Like if you join Facebook, one direct network effect is you can connect with your friend. But other network effect or other value that you can join Facebook is a lot of content that people inside the network inside the network of Facebook, they post it, they share it, they have a lot of contents inside that. That's another value into it. Okay. So yeah, that's network effect. Another one that maybe you might have heard is we call it winner takes all situation, which we will see a lot more on the digital technology world or IT world. This is a situation or this is economic system where competition allow the best performers to rise to the top at the expense of the loser. Okay, or in some I mean to make it more clear, the ultimate end result of a winner takes all market is an oligopoly, where only a small handful of large, powerful companies control a majority of the market share. Okay, what do I mean by this? Winner takes all. Okay, let me give you example. Example of winner takes all is a market that we always have few players control the majority of the market share. Like for example, when we talk about search engine, okay, what's the number one search engine? Undisputedly, Google search, right? How about number two? Now you have to think.
Yahoo Yahoo.
Huh? Maybe Yahoo, right? Or maybe Bing search by Microsoft, right? When people still have to think. See, you have only one or few players in this market. Right? For example, or how about mention the thing I mentioned earlier? How about mobile operating system? What's number one in the market?
iOS.
iOS is number two actually. Before iOS is number one because they are the market because they are the first one. But right now they are number two. Of course, what should be the number one?
Android.
Android, right? Androids, I think, have about 80% market share. Whereas iOS maybe 14-50% market share. And then the rest very, very small.
And
this
why
is
is that?
Example. Yes.
And why Android has more market share compared to iOS?
That's a good question. So maybe I ask from the audience also, I mean from others, what could be the reason? That's a good question, right? Why Android have more market share than iOS?
My guess is probably lots of mobile brands they have an agreement with Android, but instead iOS only works in iPhone.
I think you already answered your question. That's one.
Is that correct?
Yes, definitely. Because for iOS they will have only one company, which is Apple, right? That run on iOS. But for Android you have like Xiaomi, you have Huawei, you have Samsung, you have Oppo, you have whatever, many different brands. Okay, that's why their market share is much bigger. At that time, I told you in the past, right? iOS, they are number one in the market because they are the only one who come up with a smartphone. So they are number one. But as I told you, because of maybe many reasons, but one of them is Android smartphone catching up. The quality of the operating system much better, and then the quality of the smartphone is much better. At the beginning, maybe 15 years back, the technology is not there yet for other phone to compete with iPhone. But right now, I think majority of the phone, they are catching up. I have to say they are catching up. And then people doesn't want to pay 30,000, 40,000 baht for a smartphone. They prefer paying like much less, like 10,000, 20,000 at most, and get equal quality to the iPhone. That's the reason. So that's why we have only two. And then because of these two operating systems, they have network effect. They have like those applications in their like platform or ecosystem a lot. Compared with Nokia at the time, right? Or another one is BlackBerry. Also, these two, they cannot compete because what you buy is what you get. You cannot add capability to those two phones. Okay, and as a result, they die off of the market. And winner takes all is like this. the bigger guy gonna get bigger and bigger. Smaller guy gonna get smaller and smaller. Okay, why so? What if right now, suppose, right, you have you have money, you want to buy a mobile phone. I think you will choose either, right, Android or iOS. I don't think you want to buy, like, even though like Nokia have a phone or BlackBerry have a phone or Microsoft have a phone to offer you, you might think, right, okay, what you buy, maybe if you, for those three like smaller network, what you buy is probably what you get. You might not have application to install. Suppose you want to use other application with your friends besides the application that come with the phone. In that case, you have to be sure that the applications can be installed or not. Okay, so this is the result. This is a reason why bigger gonna the bigger guy gonna get bigger and bigger, because for new people we want to apply and use on the bigger network. Okay, and another one of the reason why this thing happen is because if you suppose, like, if I give you another example about social media, right? So suppose right now you never use any social media in the world, never at all. I think everyone know that Facebook is number one, right? Number two, number three, I think it's pretty hard to tell. Suppose if we talk about the direct competitors of Facebook that have the same or like similar service. In the past, of course, we have High Five, we have MySpace, those kind of thing, but I think they're all gone. But right now, it's hard to think, right? So what if there's a new company, right, trying to come up with similar network, similar like social network application like this to compete? You think, is there any chance for them to compete? And how? Any, actually some companies try to compete, but fail. I don't know, you heard about TikTok could be one of them, but in the past there's one company trying to compete, which is I don't know, you heard about Google Plus? Have you heard about Google Plus or Google Buzz? They are actually Google. They're trying to compete in this social network, but it failed. Why? What could be the reason? Or if you want to create new application that, works similar the way as like Facebook, but why it doesn't work? What could be the reason why?
People already familiar with it and didn't willing to change because of some they don't have the reason to change because it's the same features.
What if they have a bit more feature? So how are you gonna make people change? If you want to change, okay, you can go, but the problem is you still have millions, thousands of friends who still stay with Facebook. You have to persuade that people to go also. So because if you switch to the new network, that means you have to give up all the links or all the networks, all the friends that you created on Facebook that you've been using for the past 10 years, maybe, right? You have to give up all these things to switch to use the new network. This thing, in economics term, we call switching costs. That's really very important. So switching costs also very important. Switching costs is a thing that the firm try to create so that you cannot switch to the new competitor easily. Okay, like especially for Facebook, the more you use it, the more you not only addicted, but the more that you are stuck with it. because you already put so much effort into it. You already put all the pictures that you have been posted for the past 10 years, or the comments or the network that you create, or the status in some fan page or something that you create, you earn. You have to give up all those things and start over again in a new network. People don't want to lose that. And that's the reason why the bigger guy gonna get bigger and bigger. Even though like you have new company come up with new things much better, it's gonna be tough in some case. It's tougher, okay, than in normal physical product. Because in normal physical product, you might not see this network effect that much, or you don't really see the switching cost in this case that much. So winner takes all happen because of maybe one, because of a network effect, and two, switching costs. Like for example, for food industry, right? Why we see many company, like in like let's say for example, in fast food, we see many of fast food chain because network effect, or maybe because of the what you eat have nothing to do with me. We have nothing related. No network effect, right? What you eat doesn't persuade what I eat. Okay, or if I give up eating McDonald's to eat Burger King, I don't lose anything. Okay, you might see, okay, in this case it's very cheap product, but in car also we still see many of cars coming up, selling many cars. We don't only have one or two brand like in mobile, in like mobile operating system, but we see many, more than 10, right? We see a lot. We see a lot of competition because switching costs, of course, besides the price of the car, but switching costs is not that high in that case. Like you can use with like you can still like switching costs in that's in that regard is still smaller than what you have to give up on like in the case of Facebook. Because like for suppose if you switch from one car to another, you still know how to drive another car. You don't really, I mean, you just lose the like the I mean the value of the car, but that's it. But I mean, other than that, you don't really lose. Switching costs in this regard is much smaller than in the digital technology world. So as this is a situation, what I'm saying is a winner takes all, right? Is you in this case you see a oligopoly market. Okay. By the way, this might be another technical term that you might want to know. Oligopoly. What's oligopoly? So you might have heard this term. Okay, let me type a little bit. Okay, you might have heard this term before, monopoly. Okay, let's start with monopoly. What's monopoly? Monopoly.
Only one big business in the market.
Very good. Only one player in the market, like electricity, water supply in Thailand, right? But oligopoly is you only have few players in the market. Like usually like mobile network operators in all the countries, mostly they have 3 or 4, that's it. And then another one, they have competitive market where they have a lot of seller or producer in the market. That's majority of the industry is like a competitive market. Okay. I'm sorry, I speak too much. We run out of the time. So next time, okay, let me just I think right now I gave you I think this slide we finished, right? And then I already told you monopoly market, oligopoly market, and then competitive market, right? And then for winner takes all, mostly you will see monopoly or oligopoly market. Okay, so next time I will start with this slide. Okay, sorry about that today. So sorry that I ran over time. So if you have any question next time, you can ask me or you can email me later. Okay, sorry about that. So maybe some of you might have to run. Sorry about that. Okay, I'll see you next time. Sorry.
อาจารย์ครับ can I ask you one more time
Sure.
about
For me, I'm
about
done. For other student, you are free to leave ครับ You can ask me ครับเชิญครับ
can you explain again why smartphones get cheaper
because of Moore's law ครับ เนื่องจากว่าเอาภาษาไทยภาษาอังกฤษดีครับ
ไทยก็ได้ครับ ยิงเลย
เพราะว่าอย่างนี้ เพราะว่าไอตัวคอมโพเนนต์ที่สำคัญของสมาร์ทโฟนมันคือตัวชิปฮะซึ่งตัวชิปมันถูกมันก็เลยทำให้สมาร์ทโฟนถูกถามว่าทำไมชิปมันถูกเพราะว่าไอบริษัทที่มันผลิตชิปอะครับมันสามารถผลิตชิปได้ถูกลงในทุกๆ18เดือนครับถูกลงครึ่งนึงเลยนะในทุกๆ18เดือนในขณะเดียวกันเนี่ยความสามารถของตัวชิปเนี่ยมันสูงขึ้นเกือบ2เท่าในทุกๆ18เดือนเลยครับนั่นคือเหตุผลทำไมเราถึงเห็นคอมพิวเตอร์หรือว่าแกดเจ็ตหรืออะไรทุกๆอย่างที่มันมีชิปอยู่ข้างในเนี่ยซึ่งเป็นหัวใจส่วนประกอบที่สำคัญและซึ่งแพงที่สุดเนี่ยมันถูกลงครับเพราะว่าไอ้ตัวชิปมันถูกลงครับแล้วใครเป็นคนบอกว่าชิปมันถูกลงก็ไอ้ CEO คนเก่าคนก่อนเก่าของบริษัทที่ชื่อว่า Intel ครับเป็นคนเห็นphenomenonตัวนี้ครับเห็นปรากฏการณ์ตัวนี้ว่าไอ้บริษัทเขาชื่อ Intel เนี่ยเขาเป็นบริษัทที่ผลิตชิปเนี่ยเขาเห็นเลยว่าคอสในการผลิตเนี่ยมันถูกลงทุกปีครึ่งในขณะเดียวกันเนี่ย performance ที่เขาได้รับเนี่ยจากเงินที่เขาลงทุนเนี่ยทำให้ไอ้ชิปมันมีประสิทธิภาพมากขึ้นเกือบ2เท่าในทุกๆ18เดือนเลยครับนั่นคือเหตุผลครับ
ที่ชิปถูกลงนี่เป็นเพราะเทคโนโลยีเราก้าวหน้าขึ้นถูกไหมครับ
ด้วยครับเทคโนโลยีก้าวหน้าขึ้นด้วย economy scale ด้วยครับถูกครับเพราะว่ายิ่งมีคนใช้เยอะยิ่งมี prediction อย่างนี้เยอะถูกไหมครับคนก็ยิ่งใช้เยอะผลิตเยอะก็ยิ่งถูกลงเมื่อกี้ที่เราคุยกัน economy of scale ด้วยครับผมไม่รู้ผม answer คำตอบหรือยังไม่ค่อยเคลียร์
ครับแล้วผมอยากรู้ว่าการที่ชิปถูกลงและโทรศัพท์ถูกลงเนี่ยมันมีผลเสียต่อใครไหมครับหรือมีแต่ผลดีอย่างเดียว
มีผลเสียต่อใครก็ในที่ผมมองว่านะเดี๋ยวเพื่อนก็ผมว่าการที่เรามีผลเสียต่อใครเหรอผมว่าเหรอก
ระทบใครบ้างไหมครับ
คุณคิดว่ามีไหมอันนี้ผมถามคุณดีกว่าคุณคิดว่าใครที่จะ
ถ้าให้ผมคิดผมว่าไม่ครับผู้บริโภคก็ได้ข้อดีไปด้วยเพราะว่าเขาได้เขาได้ซื้อโทรศัพท์ที่ถูกลงแต่ผมสงสัยว่าถ้าสมมติว่าบริษัทที่ผลิตชิปเนี่ยเขาผลิตชิปได้แบบคอสที่มันต่ำลงทำไมเขาถึงต้องลดราคาขายด้วยเขาสามารถใช้ราคาเดิมก็ได้แต่ได้กำไรที่มันมากขึ้นนี่
เพราะเดี๋ยวนี้มันมี competition มากขึ้นครับคือสมัยก่อนอาจจะมี
Intel ไม่ใช่เจ้าใหญ่
เป็นเจ้าใหญ่แต่มันก็มี competition เจ้าอื่นด้วยครับแล้วก็มันก็โดนยังไงเดียมันก็โดนบีบจากอย่างอื่นด้วยคือหมายถึงว่าพูดยังไงเดียแต่ว่าคำถามคุณดีนะถ้าการที่เขาเป็นแบบเป็นเจ้าใหญ่จริงๆเขาสามารถ control ตลาดได้ถูกไหมเขาน่าจะเซ็ตราคาให้มันสูงไปเรื่อยเหมือนกับสินค้าตัวอื่นถูกไหมไม่ทำไมที่เขาจะต้องลดคือทำไมเขาจะต้องกดราคาตามคอสที่เขาสามารถ control ได้ถูกไหมครับความหมายคืออย่างนี้ถูกไหมอาจจะมีหลายเหตุผลครับหนึ่งคอมโพเนนต์อย่างอื่นอาจจะมีส่วนที่ราคาอาจจะไม่ตกมากเท่าไหร่ในชิปหนึ่งตัวแน่นอนมันอาจจะไม่ได้มีแค่ตัวนี้ที่ผมถ้าดูในสไลด์มันจะเรียกว่าทรานซิสเตอร์พอดีผมไม่ได้ลงในดีเทลนะครับมันจะมีตัวทรานซิสเตอร์มันจะมีตัวคอมโพเนนต์อย่างอื่นด้วยที่มันอาจจะไม่ลงตามไปด้วยการที่เขากดตัวนี้ลงตัวอื่นอาจจะไม่ได้ลงตามเท่าไหร่นะครับตัวอื่นอาจจะไม่ลงตามเท่าไหร่ทำให้เขาไม่สามารถกดราคาได้ลงมากเท่าไหร่นะครับแล้วก็อย่างหนึ่งคำถามผมไม่แน่ใจอันนี้ผมไม่แน่ใจนะยังไม่มีตัวเลขแน่นอนว่าไม่มีข้อมูลแน่นอนว่ารัฐบาลอเมริกาสามารถเข้าไปควบคุมเรื่องพวกนี้ได้ไหมเพราะการที่เขาเป็นเจ้าใหญ่เนี่ยไอตัวรัฐบาลอเมริกาเนี่ยเขาจะมีกฎหมายตัวนึงชื่อว่า antitrust law ครับว่าสามารถเข้าไปควบคุมการดำเนินงานหรือเข้าไปควบคุมเรื่องการเซตอัพราคามากน้อยได้เท่าไหร่ในอุตสาหกรรมตัวเซมิคอนดักเตอร์ที่อเมริกาครับแต่ โดยปกติแล้วทำถ้าคุณถามผมก็คงตอบว่าเขาคงมองว่าราคาคือเขาก็ยังสามารถกำไรได้อยู่เขาก็ยังมี margin อยู่เรื่อยๆเพราะเขาสามารถ control ได้เขาสามารถ control cost ลงได้เขาก็ตอนนั้นเนี่ยผมต้องบอกเลยว่าตอนนั้นเนี่ยมันมีบริษัทคู่แข่งของIntel มันไม่ใช่มีเจ้าเดียวนะครับมันก็มีคู่แข่งตอนนั้นเขาก็ยังมีคู่แข่งอยู่เยอะมีCyrix มีตอนนี้ก็ยังมี AMD อยู่ตอนนั้นมี AMD คู่แข่ง Cyrix ก็มีหลายๆบริษัทนะครับจริงๆ Samsung ก็เคยผลิตชิปแข่งนะครับก็มีหรือมีหลายบริษัทที่ยังผลิตชิปแข่งอยู่แต่ว่าก็คือสู้มาก็ยังสู้ performance กับ cost ที่Intel นำเสนอไม่ได้
เหมือนจะมีบริษัทจากไต้หวันที่ชื่อ TSMC ด้วยใช่ไหมครับ
ใช่ครับ TSMC
ที่จะแย่ง market share ของชิปในรถยนต์ไปเยอะเลยจาก Intel
ใช่ครับมี TSMC ซึ่งเดี๋ยวคุณจะเห็นเดี๋ยวอาทิตย์หน้าเราจะมาพูดถึง TSMC นิดนึงเดี๋ยวผมจะแตะนิดนึงแล้วคุณจะเห็นว่า TSMC มันก็เป็นหนึ่งตัวที่กำลังมาแรงในระดับโลกด้วยนะครับไม่ใช่ธรรมดาเพราะเป็นบริษัทที่ติดท็อป 10 ที่มีมูลค่าสูงสุดในโลกด้วยครับซึ่งตอนนี้ Intel ไม่ใช่แล้วแต่ TSMC ใช่เหตุผลที่ใช่เพราะอะไรเดี๋ยวเรามาคุยกันก็ได้ครับโอเคไหมครับแต่ว่าเมื่อกี้คุณแป๊บหนึ่งนะครับคุณอะไรที่ถามนะพอดีผมไม่ได้เห็นชื่อ
ผมแล้วครับ
คุณธนกรโอเค
ครับ
ให้เปิดกล้องคุยเห็นหน้าก็ดีนะ
อ๋อได้ครับอาจารย์เดี๋ยวขอสักครู่นะครับ
ไม่งั้นไม่เป็นไรไม่มีอะไรคือผมแค่อยากเห็นหน้าจะได้คุยง่ายขึ้นไง
คือสรุปว่าที่ชิปถูกลงแล้วขายโทรศัพท์ถูกลงสรุปว่าที่ต้นทุนผลิตชิปมันลดลงแล้วเขาขายให้มันถูกลงด้วยเนี่ยสรุปนี่เพราะอะไรนะครับขอสรุปสั้น
ๆเพราะว่าผมว่าคิดว่าเหตุผลที่ก็คือบริษัทมันทำต้นทุนได้ถูกลงใช่ไหมเขาก็ไม่ได้ขายที่แพงขึ้นมากขึ้นเรื่อยๆเพราะอะไรครับไม่งั้นมันก็มีคอมเพติเตอร์เข้ามาดีครับก็มีคู่แข่งเข้ามาที่ขายราคาที่ถูกกว่าสมมติถ้าคุณบอกว่าคุณถูกลงแต่คุณยังตั้งราคาที่สูงขึ้นเรื่อยๆใช่ไหมครับก็อาจจะมีบริษัทคู่แข่งที่เข้ามาแข่งที่ provide ใกล้เคียงเทคโนโลยีแต่ราคาถูกกว่าเขาก็โดนคนอื่นเข้าไปแข่ง
เหมือนที่เขาลดลงไปนี่อาจจะโดนคู่แข่งกดเข้ามาเขาเลยต้องทำแบบนี้เป็นไปได้ใช่ไหม
ครับไม่ได้เพราะว่ามันไม่ใช่เป็น monopoly ครับมันมีคู่แข่งครับแต่เขาเป็นเจ้าใหญ่แค่นั้นเองครับเหมือนหลายเคสอ่ะเหมือนถามว่าทำไมพูดไงเดียวคือเขาบริษัท always want to cut down the cost ครับถูกไหมเขาต้องการ cut down cost ทุกอย่างผมมั่นใจว่าบริษัทต้องการ cut down cost แต่ถามว่าทำไมเขายังต้อง cut down ราคามันต้องลงไปด้วยหรือว่าไม่ตั้งราคาสูงจนเกินไปก็มันมี competition ครับเพราะมันมีคู่แข่งเมื่อไหร่มีคู่แข่งคุณไม่สามารถตั้งราคาตามอำเภอใจคุณได้ไม่เหมือน monopoly อ่ะคือยังไงบริษัทอุตสาหกรรมชิปก็มันไม่ใช่ monopoly ครับยังเป็น oligopoly อยู่ยังมีคู่แข่ง
ขอบคุณครับอาจารย์เคลียร์ครับ
ครับผมขอบคุณครับ
อาจารย์คะ
เชิญครับ
รออันนี้คือมันแค่สำหรับชิปใช่ไหมคะแล้วอย่างสมมติเป็น product อย่างอื่นนะคะมันมีแบบมันมี theory อะไรแบบนี้ประมาณนี้บ้างไหมคะ
ไม่ค่อยเห็นแต่ว่าเขาก็บอกว่าตอนนี้ชิปตัวรอตัวนี้มันก็เริ่มไม่ค่อยโฮเท่าไหร่แล้วแต่ว่าอันนี้ก็เป็นส่วนใหญ่ก็คือเรื่องชิปครับเขาเอามาประมาณว่าเอามาอธิบายเหตุผลว่าทำไมราคาโทรศัพท์ราคาทีวีโทรศัพท์คอมพิวเตอร์ราคามันถูกลงแต่ในขณะเดียวกัน performance มันดีขึ้นครับแต่ว่าสินค้าตัวอื่นไม่เกี่ยวอย่างอาหารเนี่ยไม่ใช่เลยถูกไหมอาหารแพงขึ้นเยอะเลยสมมุติคุณกินก๋วยเตี๋ยวตอนเป็นเด็กเนี่ยอาจจะถ้วยหนึ่งจะ25 บาทตอนนี้อาจจะ50 บาท100แล้วอะไรเงี้ยถูกไหมครับผมแต่ไม่สามารถใช้กับสินค้าโภคภัณฑ์ได้แน่ๆครับเพราะพวกนี้สินค้าโภคภัณฑ์ส่วนมากจะขึ้นตามอินเฟลชันครับ
อาจารย์ครับ อันนี้เป็นคำถามที่อยากจะรู้ในมุมมองของอาจารย์เฉยๆครับว่าเทรนด์ Metaverse เนี่ยมาแรงมากครับอาจารย์แล้วในโลกของธุรกิจเองเนี่ยอาจารย์เห็นว่ามันจะส่งผลกระทบยังไงหรือมีข้อดีข้อเสียยังไงบ้างครับถ้าพูดในแง่ของธุรกิจ
ผมว่าเหรอคือ eventually มันคงมาแต่ว่ามันคงยังไม่มาอีกตอนนี้คือผมว่าอย่างนั้นคือสำหรับตัวผมก็ยังมีดาวนะสมมุติเราบอกว่าเราไปทำงานในโลกเสมือนใช่ไหมฮะถ้าคุณถามผมก็ยังไม่ค่อยเชื่อมั่นกับในโลกเสมือนเท่าไหร่ว่าแบบบางคนบอกว่ายังไงเดียแบบไปช้อปปิ้งแต่งตัวในโลกเสมือนคือผมต้องเฟกแบบว่าผมต้องสร้างอวตารผมไปอยู่บนโลกเสมือนถูกไหมคือผมต้องมีอันนึงแล้วผมต้องไปแต่งตัวอีกคนนึงซึ่งมันก็ไม่ได้ฟีลเหมือนตัวผมเองผมมีความรู้สึกว่ายังไงตัวสำหรับตัวผมนะคือคนอื่นไม่เกี่ยวคือผมยังไอ้นั่นมันคืออะไรที่มันจำลองมันไม่ใช่ตัวผมผมยังคิดอย่างนั้นนะแต่ว่าเพราะฉะนั้นเนี่ยในโลกของ business ก็เหมือนกันคือเหมือนเอาเงี้ยเหมือนกับที่ผมไม่อินกับเกมเพราะเกมมันคือเกมมันไม่ใช่ตัวผมคืออย่างน้อยบางคนก็ยังบอกเฮ้ยเกมคุณก็ยังเก่งเว้ยคุณสามารถควบคุมมันได้แต่มันก็ยังไม่ใช่ผมมันคือผมที่ในแบบโลกจำลองมันไม่ใช่ feeling คือมันแล้วแต่คนอันนี้ถ้าคุณถามผมถ้านี่คือถาม opinion ผมก็ยังคิดอย่างนั้นผมว่ามันก็อาจจะมีคนที่คิดเหมือนผมอยู่เฮ้ยมันก็ไม่ใช่ผมอยู่ดีมันก็คือเป็น something ที่แบบเรามโนขึ้นมาแล้วมันอยู่ที่ว่าใครมโนเก่งกว่ามโนแต่ว่าผมอาจจะไม่ถูกต้องเพราะว่ามาร์ค ซักเคอร์เบิร์กเขาฉลาดกว่าผมเยอะเขารวยกว่าผมเยอะเขาคงเห็นอะไรมากกว่าผมแต่ไม่รู้ว่าคุณมองว่ายังไงครับแต่แน่นอนผมว่ามันก็มีคนที่จะเข้าไปจับจองไอ้พื้นที่มีอะไรเยอะแยะไปหมดนะครับมีบริษัทเมื่อวานมีนักศึกษาอีกห้องเมื่อเช้ามีนักศึกษาอีกห้องหนึ่งมาพิเศษให้ผมฟังเรื่อง NF เรื่องนี้ครับเรื่อง Metaverse เนี่ยมีบริษัทสิงคโปร์มั้งครับมาซื้อพื้นที่ใน Metaverse เรียบร้อยแล้วแล้วเตรียมให้คนไทยไปทำลงทุนเรียบร้อยแล้วซึ่งผมว่ามันก็คงมีมันก็คงมีแต่ผมยังมองไม่สำหรับผมว่ามันไกลไปนิดนึงหรือมันยังไม่สามารถคอนวินส์ผมได้ในระดับหนึ่งคือผมเชื่อใน NFT ได้นะโอเคนะ NFT ผมยังมองว่าโอเคมันมีดิจิทัลซิกเนเจอร์ที่มันแตกต่างกันผมยังเห็น value ว่าคนที่เชื่อมั่นในศิลปะเหมือนกับคุณมองรูปรูปนี้มันสวยรูปนี้ต่อให้ copy มามันก็ยังไม่ใช่มันก็คงเป็นคอนเซปต์คล้ายกันแต่ว่าการที่ตัวผมเองเป็นอวตารแล้วผมคิดว่าผมมีบ้านมีรถที่อยู่ในโลกของจำลองแล้วผมจะอินเหมือนกับการที่ผมมีรถขับจริงๆมีเฟอร์รี่ขับจริงๆเนี่ยผมว่านิดนึงผมยังไม่อินขนาดนั้นนะไม่รู้คุณมองว่ายังไงครับ
ผมคิดว่าแบบว่า Gen Z น่าจะเป็นคนที่เป็นแบบ first adopter คนแรกๆของโลก Metaverse นะครับแต่ว่าเหมือนไปทำรีเสิร์ชมาประมาณนึงเขาบอกว่ามันจะเหมือนเน็ตเวิร์กยุคแรกๆที่แต่ละบริษัทแต่ละคอมพานีเนี่ยเขาก็มีแยกของเขาแต่ต้องใช้เวลาแบบนานมากๆเลยตัว Metaverse เนี่ยถึง merge คนทั้งโลกหรือแบบบริษัทที่มันแยกๆกันอยู่เนี่ยเข้าเป็นหนึ่งแบบโลกเสมือนจริงๆได้ที่ connect กับeveryone อะไรอย่างเงี้ยครับแต่ผมคิดว่ามันน่าจะเปลี่ยนการช้อปปิ้งออนไลน์ไปเยอะมากๆเลยนะครับแล้วก็แต่ไม่รู้ว่าสุดท้ายแล้วมันจะ replace เราเหมือนที่ e-commerce replace เราในปัจจุบันไหมแต่คิดว่ามี possibility สูงมากที่จะเป็นในรูปแบบนั้นได้ครับ
ก็ไปได้แต่ว่า e-commerce ต่อให้คุณ e-commerce คุณมัน replace แค่กระบวนการในการที่เราเปลี่ยนจากการซื้อของบนโลกจริงๆมาเป็นโลกเสมือนแต่ว่ายังไงคุณก็ยังได้ product มาจับต้องอยู่ไงถูกปะ e-commerce eventually คุณก็ยังได้จับต้อง product มันเปลี่ยนแค่กระบวนการตรงกลางมันแค่ทำ process innovation แต่ก่อนคุณจ่ายคุณต้องไปที่ร้านค้าแต่ตอนนี้เนี่ยคุณกระบวนการในการซื้อของในการอะไรเงี้ยคุณบายพาสหรือคุณเปลี่ยนตรงนั้นไปแต่คุณก็ยังได้ของคุณยังได้จับได้อะไรนะแต่ว่าอย่างว่าแหละผมก็ไม่แน่ใจพูดตามตรงผมก็ไม่แน่ใจแต่ว่าเนี่ยผมยังพูดตามตรงผมยังไม่อินกับการที่ผมเป็นอวตารอยู่ในโลกเสมือนแล้วกันผมยังคิดว่าผมก็ยัง prefer โลกหรือผมอาจจะเป็นผมเป็น Gen X เนาะผมยังเพราะอย่างพวกคุณเป็น Gen Z แล้วใช่ไหมฮะประมาณใช่ไหมต้องถามพวกคุณเนี่ย
ผมเห็นด้วยนะครับอาจารย์ อย่างที่อาจารย์ตอบคือมันไม่ได้ใช้ชีวิตอะแต่ว่าถ้าพูดถึงว่ามันทำเงินได้ไหมผมว่ามันทำได้แน่นอน เพราะมันมีคนกลุ่มเนี้ยตั้งตารออยู่แล้วที่จะใช้มัน แต่มันอาจจะแบบถ้าอนาคตมันมีโรคระบาดแบบนี้อีก หรือว่าโควิดมันยังไม่หายไปผมว่ามันทำเงินได้แน่นอน เพราะว่ามันจะทำให้การที่เราทำทุกๆอย่างในชีวิตประจำวันอ่ะมันต้องแยกคนมันต้องอยู่บ้าน มันต้องมีดิจิตอลอย่างเงี้ยครับผมว่ามันตอบโจทย์แน่นอน แต่ถ้าอนาคตทุกอย่างมันกลับเป็นเหมือนเดิม ก็อย่างที่สุภเวศพูดก็ต้องดูว่ามันต้องใช้เวลานานเท่าไหร่กว่าทุกอินดัสทรีและทุกบริษัทในโลกจะยอมรับเมตาเวิร์สและร่วมทำธุรกิจบนเมตาเวิร์สด้วยกันแต่ผมเห็นด้วยครับว่าผมอยากใช้ชีวิตไม่ได้อยากจะให้มันอยู่ปลอมจากแค่แว่นอยากออกอยากเดินอยากสูดลมหายใจอยากจะวิ่งอะไรเงี้ยซึ่งเมตาเวิร์สมันไม่ใช่ครับผมก็ว่าเป็นผมก็ไม่เอา แต่ถ้าทำเงินได้ผมก็ทำ
ถูกอันนั้นอาจจะเป็นหนึ่งในเหตุผลที่เรามาเรียน business school ด้วยใช่ไหมไม่ใช่
เป็นธุรกิจพอแต่ไม่เอาไลฟ์สไตล์
ครับซึ่งผมก็คิดว่ามันก็มีคนไม่งั้นก็คงไม่สามารถมาถึงจุดนี้ได้เพราะคนมองเห็นbusiness opportunity ครับแน่นอนมันมี business opportunity แน่นอนครับเหมือนสมัยก่อนอ่ะเพราะจริงๆในเรื่องคอนเซปต์ของคริปโตคอนเซปต์ของ digital cashing เนี่ยมันมีมานานมากเลยครับมันเพิ่งมา realize ช่วงที่ผ่านมาเองหลังจากที่มันมีเขาเรียกว่า everything come into place หมายถึงว่าแต่ก่อนมันอาจจะมีคอนเซปต์มาตั้งนานแล้วแต่มันยังไม่มีอะไรครับมันยังไม่มีเทคโนโลยียังไม่มีเรื่องอื่นที่ภายนอกที่มันรวมกันแต่ตอนนี้มันถึงจุดที่แบบคนเห็นภาพแล้วมันเป็นไปได้แล้วอะไรเงี้ยคริปโตมันถึงเริ่มมาปีที่ผ่านมาหนักๆเลยนะใช่ไหมที่ผ่านมาเพราะว่า valuation มหาศาลทำให้มี NFT มีอะไรตามขึ้นมาซึ่งเดี๋ยวในอนาคตเราจะมี smart contract มี whatever มีซึ่งมันก็คงเป็นตัวต่อตัว Metaverse คงเป็นตัวแบบ eventually ตัวตอนจบอ่ะคือแบบทุกอย่างเรา transact ได้เราทำพวกนี้ได้เอามาอยู่บน Metaverse อะไรอย่างเงี้ยแต่ก็นะคือตัวผมยังไม่ค่อยอยากไปอยู่ผมยังไม่ไปซื้อสักที่อ่ะไม่มีตังค์แล้วยังไม่อยากไปอยู่สักที่หนึ่งอ่ะแต่ว่าดีครับคำถามน่าสนใจครับโอเคครับ
ขอบคุณมากครับอาจารย์
ครับขอบคุณมากครับไว้เดี๋ยวเจอกันคราวหน้าครับผมครับสวัสดีครับ
สวัสดีครับอาจารย์
ครับ